What's up, guys? It is Will here, back again with another episode of Lights, Camera, Keco, Natalie G Collects. We don't have Dean the Dream this week. We have Natalie G because you know what? We're talking about the InArt Ron Weasley a little bit later. And Natalie is the perfect person to be here for that because there's no one more excited on planet Earth for Ron Weasley than Natalie G. So it's funny, Natalie. I don't know if you saw in the comments, someone actually commented when I posted the preview video. They were like, Natalie's going to buy
I did, and I jumped on it. I love that guy. I don't know if
yeah.
I love him. He's my favorite.
They knew automatically. But guys, we have an awesome show for you. Of course, we got a bunch of Star Wars talk because Hot Toys loves Star Wars. So by extension, we love Star Wars because we are going to talk about what Hot Toys is announcing and, of course, what the people are talking about because there have been some exciting releases, some not as exciting releases recently. And of course, you know, like I mentioned, we got the InArt Ron Weasley PO and of course some other big picture stuff because Keco Collects and I, now that he's back from his cruise, we've been talking about some of the data and Keco told me to crunch those numbers once more. And I did. And perfect gift usage, by the way. But once I crunch those numbers, you can see there are some trends that I think could be concerning or at least eye-opening for how collecting is going moving forward with exclusives and so forth. So nonetheless, guys, great show. A lot of great topics. It's going to be a good time. But let's address our amazing panel before we go too much further. Natalie G, it's great to have you back. It's been, I think, a couple weeks now. Your display is looking as bright and as vibrant as ever. And you even are your own electrician nowadays. You installed your own lights. It's looking nice and nice down there. What do we got to do to get Keco to Florida, though? My first question. What do we got to do?
Yeah, these are the real questions, right? Forget all these topics. Let's talk about the real topic. How do we get Keco to Florida? So we are going to do Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando, Florida in October or September. We're still figuring that out.
Josh is just such, he's.
We are going to do it. So maybe we do like a collector meetup. There's plenty of people who would love to meet WillFoxification in person, right?
More like you, not me.
Well, I'm
they want to meet Natalie G.
Ron Weasley fans.
Yeah, well, that's true. The fan club.
No, I've got plenty of spaces now. My lights are all done. I've got so many pre-orders that are going to come. They're all going to fill up these gaps. So we'll get Keco here. We'll get him here.
We will. Well, it's great to have you, Natalie. By the way, shout out to Ty. Happy birthday to Ty if Ty is watching. I know it is Ty's birthday out there. I will not say Ty's age. I know you've told me, but she looks far younger than the age that you told me. So shout out to Ty and happy birthday. Hopefully you guys have a good birthday weekend. Sounds pretty exciting. But yeah, shout out to Ty. So Keco, dude. You were showing off the chest hair in that video, bro. You know I had to comment because I'm a man of chest hair myself. And I appreciate some good chest hair when I see it. And I know you were in that cruise mindset and, I had to drop that comment. I commented first on the video, which is why I think my comment was the most upvoted. But
appreciate the engagement, by the way.
Yeah, the engagement. So, but excellent video, by the way, as always. The content is always top tier. It's always chef's kiss on the Keco Collects channel.
For some, you would say.
I would say for like most of the community, they recognize
most of the people that watch this probably watch that.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, that's a dedicated audience right there. That is a dedicated fan base. But how you doing this Friday, man? It's I think it's an exciting time. What do you think?
It is a great, exciting time. And I do want to comment on the chest hair thing.
Yes.
Is that Natalie? Sorry if this is too much for you at this time, but whenever we go on our vacations where I will be shirtless, I do like trim myself up. And so when we were on, because we like apply the fake tan, so that we can look kind of, because we take our skincare very serious, sunscreen, skin care, all that stuff's very scary. And so we want to be doing our diligence there. So we put fake tans on before we go. And so the best way to do that is obviously, trim yourself down. So what you saw in the video, ladies and gentlemen, if you've not checked that out, feel free, because there's I didn't realize until I looked at it on a bigger screen than my phone that you can see things, I suppose, but that wasn't my intention. That was not my intention, but that's because it has grown back. So if you would have, when we were on the boat, we're nice and clean shaven and nice and tan and all that stuff. But here we are talking about chest hair.
Dude, Keco, I got to ask you though, for all the collectors out there, for shaving the chest, do you use a trimmer or do you use shaving cream and a razor?
So,
because you can irritate the skin.
Correct. I don't like skin irritation, and I don't do it enough to where I would need a straight razor. So what I do is the hair clippers and just basically take the zero guard down and you're good. And that's plenty close enough. And yeah, I'm not doing the actual cream and any of that stuff. No. We're good.
Gotcha. Okay. See, that's what I keep it, nice and flowy nowadays. I grow the chest hair out. I mean, there's no reason not to. So,
Right. And
I
your
think
hair is naturally darker than mine anyway, right?
it is.
Yeah, because I think I got fairly light hair, and so
Yeah, you do. You have like the Lannister or Targaryen hair. You're like
I
somewhere.
wish I had Targaryen white. That's what I do want. But I do have like some Lannister blonde.
That look is in for women though. I feel like, you know what I mean. Like there's a lot of women with like really like gold hair. Like it's like really light blonde.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I wish Amy was on here because she would let you know is that the gold hair is the cheap hair because you don't want it looking like it's Nat shaking her head. She knows if it's gold, it means that you probably did it yourself or you went to somebody that didn't charge you enough because it's supposed to look natural. If you're doing a blonding, it's supposed to look like real hair. So the people that have like the copper colors with their blonde, those are the ones that paid good money for their hair product. The ones that are all blonde and they look like they just came out. Well, you're around my age. Did you ever used to bleach your hair back in the day?
Yeah, like when NSYNC was popular.
But yeah, it would turn yellow, because that's what bleach does or whatever. So yeah, yellow bleached hair is not good. You need the warm undertones. That is a true blonding.
I am never going to stop being amazed at how much Keco knows about everything. Like,
he does.
He's like, if you just flip a dictionary open and pick a word, he knows what it means. He knows how to put it in context.
I mean, he's married to Amy. I mean, it's not really.
I've always.
It doesn't matter. It's not even just hair. You could right now, if I were to pull up a random continent, and he'd be like, "Yeah, there's a mountain in this place and there's local animals that are."
You probably know a conspiracy theory about that continent. That's more likely.
Can I share one last fun story? And this is where I get all my information because when we were in Honduras, we rented a local taxi. We didn't go through any of the actual excursions. We wanted to do the more local aesthetic. And so as we were being hounded by my friend, they're trying to, hey, come join my taxi, give me some dollar. I'm like, okay, cool. And so we get in there and Amy sees a creature. All right. She's like, oh my God, what is that? And she sees something. And because Honduras is like 90% like jungle as well. It's beautiful beaches and all this, but it's also like very jungly. And she sees something. So I think she sees Sasquatch. And I was like, oh, fuck, this is it. This is the moment. I was like, what did it look like? I didn't see it. What was it? It's like, it was really small. It was like a rabbit with no ears. I'm like, oh, okay. And so she's like, what was that? He's like, it was a white rabbit. And she's like, a white rabbit. Why do they call it a white rabbit? And she thinks it's like a white rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. Then she sees it again. And I miss it again. And she's like, oh, there it is. There it is. And he's like, yes, that's a white rabbit. And she's like, why is it called a white rabbit? He's like, because they're white. What do you mean? They live in the wild. Oh, the wild, wild rabbit. They call the Honduras rabbit is a wild rabbit. So it's literally a rabbit with no ears, and we got to see 2 of those. So I don't know how we got on that, but that's how I learn all my fun facts is because of just life experiences. You run into natives and you find out about wild rabbits in Honduras.
Well, Natalie, think about how many experiences you would have in Florida, because there's a lot there. Yeah. Gators and other cool stuff. Yeah, there's high humidity. There's a lot of cool stuff.
But
in October, I think we'd be okay. I think we'll be okay in October. Yeah, and we should be.
Winter starts in February, so it's going to be hot no matter what happens.
How cold does it even get there, though, Natalie? Like, what is winter for you guys really? Because Keco and I experienced the real winter.
During the middle of the day, it could be in the 60s.
That's like a good day for us. That's like
the coldest it gets.
That's spring and fall here.
Yeah. Exactly. And Keco has tornadoes, so he has it worse than I do. So
we get love bug season. Look that up, Keco.
Yeah, we need to look that one up.
What type of bug?
Love bug.
Love bug. Well, it's cicada season right now, and there's
cicada season. Yeah, it's wild bug season, dude. Wild bugs. By the way, Dara Tor dropped a super chat for us. Thanks so much, Dara. A special thank you to Will for providing amazing help and support this week, dude. Thank you so much, I appreciate that, man. I was happy to step in and offer some assistance for you, and just kind of I guess solve the situation, mediate the situation. I won't go too much more detail than that, but it was Dara's a good dude, and of course there was another party involved, and we got it resolved, so everything's good, man. So we got it set. So thanks, man, for joining and dropping the super chat. Guys, we got a lot to talk about, but you know what we really need to talk about first? It's got to be Mace Windu, or is it called Mace Windu? Because he is. I mean, guys, this head sculpt is. Look. It's kind of in alignment with the prototype, I guess I would say, right? So, but at the end of the day, I think collectors were expecting a lot more, and I think we need to address that because I think a lot of people got their hopes up, right? This Mace Windu was announced earlier this morning by Hot Toys, and they're saying like, okay, it's Star Wars month. I mean, honestly, this is Star Wars year for Hot Toys. They're saying it's like, oh, it's in celebration of Attack of the Clones and May the 4th and this and that and whatever. It's Mace Windu. Here you go. He's been released. But I think it's just all of 2024 for Hot Toys is Star Wars celebration year. So now we have Mace Windu. This was a figure that collectors have wanted for a really, really long time, and now he's finally arrived in all of his, I guess for me, disappointment. For a lot of collectors, maybe you'll be happy with them. I don't know. Everyone's going to be different. It's a subjective piece of art. It's a collectible. Some people might love it. Some might dislike it. But to me, this is definitely one of the worst head sculpts that I've seen in a little while. Keco, I got to ask you the question, bro. Did Hot Toys make the improvements that we were expecting or hoping for or dreaming of in our greatest, wildest aspirations and dreams? Or is this a disappointment in 2024 for a figure that's been a long time overdue? What are your thoughts on this one?
Well, I'm so disappointed, not necessarily in this figure, but in you for missing this pun. It should be Mace Win who? Because
okay. You get
because I don't know who that is. Because you have that. There it is. So I saw this on the threads this morning, and I was like, who's that guy? And I don't want to take away from the amazing work that the photographer, such as Alex Brooks, who BG Toy Art, he did some of these. And I was like, with what you're working with, I appreciate it. Great job on some of the coloring and posing and such. But damn, wasn't expecting that, because I'm looking at my Winter Soldier Nick Fury right now, who is, for an older figure, very, very good. And which is probably during that time frame, one of the better sculpts. And so many people have a theory about this, perhaps, is that this honestly looks like it's a 2018-ish sculpt, because if you look at the stuff from Ahsoka that have been coming out and some of the stuff that, we'll talk about in a minute, like Palpatine and such, this is not up to par with that. And I wonder if, knowing that the Attack of the Clones anniversary was on the way, that this sculpt was done a long time ago, and then it just kind of went in production and they just never really touched it again, because it also suffers from the no moving eyes. It's a very dated figure. It doesn't really get any of the upgrades that I don't even think this one's USB Saber. I think it's LED in the arm again. And so I think this is the tail end of all these piss poor, and for what they are, I mean, they should be a lot better. I think this is the tail end of the final lackluster figures that we're going to be getting, because they're, LED, it's all
this is the third party one that was released before,
Sabermaster.
Right? Yeah. Does it look that different? I mean, as far as head sculpt, I don't
think
see
it looks
that
a little bit better, honestly.
I mean, honestly, I think the Hot Toys is a little bit better, but it ain't a ton better.
But go back to that last one. I'm not going to be that guy, but the face is scrunched again. You look at Sam's face on the left, and it's a little more elongated. And I'm not an anatomy person. I don't know all that stuff. I remember back when I was doing, art classes. We talked about grids and all that, trying to get the perfect ratio, golden ratios, all that. Sure. But this is obvious, and maybe angles play a part of it. But this is an obvious miss, mainly because there's no expression. You can't move the eyes. You don't have any hair, and it's got random clone bits from the animated show in it. It's a Mace, and I think a lot of people are just going to overlook it because, okay, this is probably the only one we're ever getting, and they're just going to add it to the shelf and just hope for the best. Now, there is one really good picture with him, Kenobi, and Skywalker that look pretty damn cool, and I think that was what they're weighing on, saying, I hope that when it's with everything else, it's going to look good. But this is an accessory figure. This is not a must-have figure. And I don't know how many people ordered him. I don't know. Is it not in there? There it is. That's a cool photo. And that looks really, really good. But yeah, man, it's a miss. But am I still getting it? Of course. It's pre-ordered already. And I'm not going to miss a chance to get this one. I'm guaranteed the body is going to be better than any third party that you can get.
Yeah.
So it is, after having all these USB sabers at this point, damn, because I'm not going to have that purple blade lit up. But maybe I could steal he won't have the proper hilt, but maybe we could just go ahead and just pop the purple blade on one. I mean,
Well, maybe. Well, isn't the light in the hilt though?
it is. You won't have the proper hilt, but you can put a purple blade on it.
Oh, right. Because I guess is the LED just a white LED inside the hilt every time, and it just so the blade is what changes the color. Okay, gotcha.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, same thing with like all the 3POs and all that. It's just a big white LED that if you have a C3PO, it'll be golden eyes, or if you have the 000, it's the red. That's what it is. It's just one big bright LED.
Okay. Yeah, but I think you're definitely onto something though, Keco. I mean, this definitely does look like a figure from 2017, 2018. You know what it kind of reminds me of Qui-Gon, right? Because Qui-Gon was another one that beloved character people wanted for a really long time, and Hot Toys ended up releasing him and it ended up being like, right? And at the time, it was an
speaking of Qui-Gon, you look at that new Darth Maul that comes out, and then you look at this. I mean, it's not like they don't have the talent in the building. It comes down to a priorities list, and they're like, gee, we can sell a lot more Darth Mauls than we can Mace Windus. Where do we want to put our efforts in? And they're like, people are going to buy this anyway. And I mean, I'm proof of that,
Yeah, and I think so. But I do want to be consistent, and like I've said before, kind of like we did with InArt Batman. Sometimes we do overreact to final product photos, and we get them in hand, and they are better. So I will say, just this could be better in hand, right? This could be something you get in hand. You say, okay, the product final photos didn't show this figure in the greatest light, regardless of how good those photographers are. Sometimes it doesn't always work out. And maybe it's better in hand. Maybe that happens. But I can just tell you, looking at these photos of final product photos, legitimate photos, it does not look good. This looks like ass. I mean, it never really looked good, to be honest. I mean, it never really looked like Samuel Jackson. Really.
I mean, the shape is just not there.
No, and the likeness isn't there.
Yeah, even like the eyes. I mean, there's just it's weird. It's strange, and it's not like they don't have one, because if you want to pull up the Winter Soldier Nick Fury, that's a good figure for sure.
Yeah. But anyway, Natalie, I want to get you to jump in here. What are your thoughts on this Mace Windu? I mean, do you feel like it ended up turning out pretty good? Do you feel like Hot Toys could have done better? What are your thoughts looking at the final product photos?
So I have to call out what Ty said first.
Oh, okay. Tell us.
I showed this photo to Ty. I said, oh, look, Mace Windu. There's the guy, Samuel Jackson. And she tapped on my phone screen and said, who's this? She said, this is not Samuel L. Jackson. This is Samuel Thompson. Who is this? And it had me dying. So I agree that there's a lot of features. I personally, when I look at it, I know who it is. I think they did a decent enough job, like, you know who it is. And it's Hot Toys, obviously they should. But it looks more like a blend between the Clone Wars version of him and the real life version of him. So I think if you have the Clone Wars version of other characters, whether it be Anakin or Ahsoka, like it'll fit really well. It just kind of sucks. I know that this has been one of the longest awaited figures in like a history of like Star Wars collectors. So it kind of sucks. One, you don't really get the separate rolling eyeballs, right? They didn't improve that, which is the number one ask. How are you going to release this right next to Anakin, which has it, and not put it, like, what would have, is it because he's bald, he doesn't have hair to cover up the seamless line like that? That's the only reason why I would think that they didn't do it. But you could have done something in the back. I don't think people are going to face him backwards. So like do something in the back. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could. Yeah, that's a good point with the rolling. But usually you can have it underneath, right? You can have it underneath the head sculpt.
But you'd have to redesign it with you'd have to redesign it with a magnet neck, though, which they probably weren't willing to do.
Right, they probably weren't willing to do it. Because I mean, I think you're right, Keco. I think this literally comes down to a matter of priority. Like you said, if you have better sculptor, like they're all really good artists at Hot Toys, right? But if you have one who's like slightly weaker than the other, maybe you put
that Star Ace. I mean, damn, these are actually splitting images. You know what I'm saying?
But to choose a character they've never done before to not.
They have done him. That's what's so mind-boggling.
That's true. The actor.
What do you mean they've done him?
They did.
They've done Nick Fury.
Yeah, Nick Fury.
No. Exceptional. They did a likeness of Samuel L. Jackson. They've never done a Mace Windu. That's what I mean. No. So like as a character, look at even his head is longer. It fits better. Like I don't know why they didn't.
This is better though.
I don't know why they didn't reuse I mean, it has a beard, so you couldn't reuse the sculpt. It'd be a totally different mold. Right. So either way, because what are you going to do with this? So if I need to have it to fill out my collection, which most people do, Like if you're someone like Keco, or even you, Will, you guys, you don't, well, maybe not necessarily complete a line for you. I know, Keco, you're a line collector. Like you need to have the whole thing. How do you add this in and then say, well, eventually I'll get the 2.0? Like, what do you 2.0 about this? You get rolling eyeballs and you get a new sculpt. There's no improvements to the and to the garments. He doesn't ever change, right? This is what he always wears. He doesn't have a different beard or something in another film. He always looks like this. So he doesn't ever have a new saber. He's either alive or he's not alive. Those are the two versions of him. So how do you improve this without separate rolling eyeballs and a new head sculpt?
I think the reason I'm a little upset about this one, Natalie, because with this one, this was a figure that I definitely wanted, but I was holding out to see how the final product was going to turn out before I committed to it, because I didn't like the original pre-order head sculpt that they showed. Because like, make no mistake about it,
that's your topic of conversation that you started, is that
yeah,
we got to have that conversation again about stop thinking they're going to improve things, that we need to start taking prototypes as, hey, if you like the prototype, you're getting that at best.
Sure.
And this, like, especially with how many things they're doing and focusing their times and efforts, and that was the original question you asked here, is we need to stop thinking they're going to make improvements unless there is massive backlash, which it's like 1 out of every 100 releases that they do something like that.
It's true. Like something where it's very like Tony Stank, right? Like that one where you get enough significant backlash where you get Hot Toys to get off their ass and do something about it. But I guess I just figured, Keco, like in today's market, Hot Toys has really been putting their best foot forward lately. Sure, they missed some here and there, like Obi-Wan, which we're going to talk about. But I will say, lately, at least, they've been putting out really, really good products and really good prototypes. And I think with them and InArt sort of competing, Hot Toys, they're, different types of figures, whatever. But I still think at the end of the day, they're healthy competition for one another. And make no mistake about it, this is a beloved Star Wars character. This is a character that a lot of people waited a long time for. And I guess they knew, they were like, well, it's not going to be Anakin Skywalker levels of popularity, and people are probably going to buy it regardless because there's no other valid option that's a valid competitor out there on the market. So not like high end top tier popularity anyway. People are going to buy it regardless. Let's just fucking put it out there. I think that's probably what happened here. And I just think, like you said, Keco, I'm doing the review for InArt Batman, and I can just tell you guys, and Bruce Wayne, how good those figures are. I'm almost done with the review. It should be up hopefully this Sunday. Thank God. But I will say, it's one of those where looking at those figures and looking at Darth Vader from Hot Toys or Cad Bane or any of these figures that have come out, the new Darth Maul, and it's like how good those are. And then looking at this, and like we said, Keco, when you have a figure like this, sometimes I personally feel like it brings down the level of your collection. Because you look at this one compared to Darth Maul, or compared to the battle damage Vader, or compared to InArt Batman, or Pennywise, or whatever, right? It's just like, brother, that's like what it, yeah, like, no.
I will say one thing, and I feel like we do a lot of like criticisms, right? Because in our world, everything could be better, and how dare Hot Toys even try and put this out when InArt is doing X, Y, and Z. Right. I will say one thing I really liked seeing with these is they've gotten so good at skin texture, from the lines on the forehead, right, to his bald head having like dimples in it. It's not going to be the perfect head sculpt, but if you're buying this and you've got it, like, good on you. I'm so happy for everyone who is getting this. This is probably one of the most textured times of Hot Toys. I've got plenty of figures that just look very like plasticky, even though the sculpt is on point, but it's plasticky. And I hope that word makes sense here. But like, even if it's the perfect sculpt, but it looks like plastic, it doesn't look real. Here, you've got someone who doesn't fully 10 out of 10, but like the sculpt is so textured and so well done that it fits in the collection. Nobody's going to walk by and go, who's this black guy? Like, they know who it is.
They know.
Right? So there's some two things that are off, but at the end of the day, it's going to look so good next to everything else that you've got on your shelf, especially if you've got a whole display.
I think like Keco said, Natalie, it's a piece that can blend in, but it cannot stand out in a good way, at least as far as the prototype photos go. And I think that's what I'm looking for with my figures personally. I'm looking for all types of figures that can stand out in a positive
what stands out to you might stand out differently for somebody else, right? You've got quite a collection. You have a lot of statues. You have a lot of figures. You've got module cases. Like, your collection screams expensive. It screams accuracy. It screams, right, I'm being honest. But if I have a very like humble collection with 3 figures, 5 figures on a detail, this is going to scream to people who walk by it like, wow, that's Samuel L. Jackson. Like I can tell right away, because it's not being compared to like a Baldur and a God of War fighting in this immaculate display of like artistry. So some people will look at this and go, hey, this is the best thing that I've gotten. I'm loving it. So I don't want to knock that and say that it doesn't scream it. I think everybody has their preference. And I really like the texture of like the skin and the face. And I'm just happy to have one, even if, you know, it's not perfect. And I think that's probably another topic, right? Do we accept it?
That's a great diplomatic answer, Nat.
That is a great diplomatic answer. I don't agree, but I love it. That's amazing. And I love how Natalie is so nice and kind, dude. She's like the kindest person on the planet. And so is Ty. Again, shout out to Ty. Happy birthday to Ty. But I will say, Keco, I'm glad that you're going to be getting this, bro, because you know what? Keco is great because then when I go to Tennessee, I get to see these figures in person and I get to make more like a second judgment. I get to view them sort of in real time and say, okay, well, like maybe it's not as bad as I thought it was. Because I saw like Keco has tons of figures that I saw in person. I was like, okay, yeah. I mean, like Cable, for example. That's not quite as bad as I thought it was, right? So judging by the photos. So I like, that's one of the reasons Tennessee. By the way, Keco, we're going to Tennessee, dude. We're going to the comic shops. I think it's gonna be fun.
Are you officially coming here and then going to Cincinnati with me, or we need
to
talk about that?
I've been waiting for you to tell me. I would love to.
I thought we talked about this already.
I did, but I asked you for the dates, and you were like, "Well, I got to get back to you. I don't know yet." So I haven't taken off work.
I thought
yet.
I sent them to you. Oh,
no,
okay, well,
send it to me, dude, because I'm down. We're going to a Reds game, aren't we?
Yeah, because I've like literally already talked to my mom. So what
Dude,
the last thing we chatted about. Sorry, guys, we're doing our planning here at this point. The last thing I'd said is that perhaps either you fly into Nashville and you ride up with me, or you fly into Cincinnati.
Yeah, I'm good with either.
There. So
yeah,
we'll figure that out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But dude, just give me the dates. Yeah, and I'll take off. I'm down. I'll meet the mom. I think that would be great, dude.
Because she's already ready to make, well, we have to work around your diet, I'm sure, but she loves making little chocolate chip pancakes for,
I could probably eat that.
Ever since I've been like 9, she pulls out the griddle and makes that at the house.
Dude, it's like a sleepover at that point.
It really, dude, you know what it is? I sleep at my mom's house. Granted, this will be the first time I've taken all 3 weans, and so you have to deal with that. So,
dude, the weans are coming with?
Where else are they going to stay?
Well, I thought they would stay with Amy. I didn't know it. Where? Oh, wait, she's leaving.
She's going out of town.
Leaving.
Yeah,
okay,
that's why we're getting this free.
Well, I didn't know if, well, maybe I thought, yeah, anyway, we're planning a live stream. This is
anyway, we'll get back to you guys.
Regular
I'm just enjoying the comments. I'm hanging out with these guys. Comments, you guys.
See, that's why Nat is so much better at this than we are, because
I know it's true
in the comments.
She's so much more professional. Yeah, it's true. But guys, thank you so much for your thoughts on Mace Windu, as Keco put it, because I think, I totally missed that pun though. I fucked that one up big time. I said, what did I say? Mace
Midnu or something.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good effort off the top of my head, but
well, I've seen the topics for today. There's opportunities for you to have more puns. Let's see if you can deliver.
I mean, I'll probably fuck it up, but I guess we'll see how it goes. So, but we do got Keco. We do got to talk about someone here. It's Papa Palps. Because, Papa Palps, it's funny. People didn't realize before Rise of Skywalker that Papa Palps was getting down and dirty, but he did, dude. He did. And he has a grandchild, which is crazy. Like, that was never something that anyone thought about, right?
Like, Ian McDermott even confirmed it. He's like, yeah, Sidious fucks.
Yeah, Sidious does fuck, dude. Which is
Ian
crazy.
McDermott confirmed that his character does smash.
Yeah, like it's crazy. Like, I can't imagine though the ladies that would be lining up for Sidious to smash. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's.
Well, let's be honest. Like, I don't think any of these dictators in some of these countries are lining up. I think that's probably arranged, and you just kind of get with the dark side there.
Yeah, get with the dark side. This conversation went off the rails already. Anyway, guys, dude, Bodog was right. He was watching it. He had to have been, dude. He had to have been. If Riley's watching, Riley needs to get on that. Anyway, guys, let's talk about Darth Sidious, because we've got an episode 3 Darth Sidious. And as I said in my preview video, Keco and Natalie, this was a figure I think that we've all been waiting for a long time. I've actually been hoping for a Chancellor Palpatine. That's something that I would really like to see. I would like to see kind of Palpatine fighting Mace Windu before he gets all scarred up and turns into Sidious, right? Like that's kind of what I wanted to see. And I think we might see that at some point. I guess we'll wait and see. But nonetheless, it's not the Palpatine and Sidious that we have today. I think this is a great offering. I'm with you though, Keco. I think you agree with me on this. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think the head sculpt is not quite perfect, but it's good. It's good enough. And it's an exciting release because he's going to be covered in a hood nonetheless. Keco, I got to ask you, bro, is this the Sidious we always dreamed of? I mean, because a lot of people wanted a 2.0 Return of the Jedi, right? And we got this one, Revenge of the Sith. What are your thoughts on this? Is this something you're going to be picking up?
Already pre-ordered for sure because I need
Nice.
that special coin. We only got like 18 days left to.
Oh, you got the
make sure-
coin version? Nice.
Of course. It's the little gimmicks that get me. But I agree with you, Will, as we get so excited about what is in front of us that we don't really drill down to some of the finer details. He's almost too evil and ghoulish looking, which
doesn't
I
he give
think
you
maybe-
Pennywise vibes? To me, he
It
does.
just-
It's the teeth.
I saw someone say like the Russia sleep experiment. Have you ever seen that?
No, I gotta look that up
image?
now.
Yeah, type Russian sleep experiment, and it's literally the exact same face. Terrifying. And that's the thing. I mean, we understand he's an evil dark side force user, corrupted by the dark side. He's almost too corrupted because I mean he doesn't have these dark circles, and I mean, and I'm not trying to be the purist here, but I mean, it's an exceptional sculpt. It's really cool. Looks a little bit thicker than I would hope fabric wise. That's my only thing, is that I think the fabric doesn't allow for a lot of play. I think the outfit on the Clone Wars Sidious and this head sculpt would make the perfect one. But if go back to that, like, well, there's a cropped version of that.
This one?
That's literally taken from that like image directly from like Return of the
that promo photo or whatever.
Yeah. Exceptional. It's so well done, and it's so exciting because, I mean, this is the unlimited power that you talk about, and it's so neat to see that. But you are kind of limited on what you can do with him. So I still think that there's room for, the Emperor on the throne. They're two different iterations, but man, I'm very excited to see this. I am hoping potentially for another Yoda with movable eyes, and I want one of the little hover discs, when they're fighting in the council chamber. I think that'd be incredible. So there you go.
But Keco, most importantly, what this figure has, USB lightsaber.
Yes.
Yeah, which is,
like I said on the last one, I feel like we're at the tail end of like truly mid figures just getting out of the pipeline. They started to make some changes, and they're good changes. And if we can just work on what that USB technology is, reduce the amount of cables, the little brick, all that stuff, maybe even like plug it we've talked about this ad nauseum, some way to power it other than that nasty setup, we're going to be looking pretty good. But I'm very excited for this, for sure.
I think so too. And someone said, what was it, George? Said he looks like Dark Side Will. He does, dude. He does. He does.
Did you pull up that Russian sleep experiment picture?
Yeah, I did. I'll pull it up real quick. Yeah. That shit's
pretty much that.
Well, I mean, people are about to get nightmares, but we're going to do it. So
conspiracies.
Dude,
yeah.
That's great. Is it real though? Is that real?
It's a conspiracy thing. That you can look into that yourself.
Someone's selling one on eBay. Like, what the hell?
That's weird. But apparently, for you that want the cliff notes, is that they did this experiment where they kept someone awake for like 27 straight hours, and that's what they ended up looking like.
27 hours? 27 hours?
27 days. Sorry.
27 days.
Okay.
27 hours. I mean, I'd be tired too. I might look like that after 27
No, 27 days, and that's what you end up looking like.
Okay, yeah, dude. But I will say though, I'm with you, Keco. I feel like the face is a little bit too wide. I'm not sure. I gotta go back and watch the film again. I'm a big episode 3 fan.
They put massive prosthetics on him because they made him old in Return of the Jedi. Then they had to make him younger in Revenge of the Sith. So there's like that weird, trying to figure out the makeup situation. And so he does look kind of puffy in Revenge of the Sith for sure. But I think it's just a hair too puffy. Yeah,
right. But he does look very ghoulish. Like it's almost like a little bit of creative liberty taken, where he looks very.
He looks like he looks like Pazuzu from The Exorcist, like the flashes on the face. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but I will say though, Keco, the hood covers up the vast majority of the face. So I mean, it's kind of like, as long as it's decent and he looks kind of scary, like you're gonna have him maybe holding his lightsaber or shooting a little bit of lightning or something, and that's pretty much gonna be the gist of it. But Natalie, I want you to weigh in. You're the positive spirit of this panel. We need you to weigh in. Is this Darth Sidious everything we dreamed of? And how many did you pre-order?
It could have been an artisan.
Yeah, an artisan.
Had 4 little strands of hair at the top.
He could have.
And I would have paid $190.
What about a Yoda artisan?
No.
You have like 4 hairs. Yeah, we do have Yoda artisan already.
All right, so you're saying he looks a bit ghouly. So I ask, does he look ghouly, or is he just not in 420p? Like, the movies back then were
2005.
There's remasters, Natalie.
Say again, Keco. Say again.
That was 2005 when this movie came
so we're
out.
talking 20 years ago. Think about what was in CD players were in 20 years ago. I was in a workshop this week for work, and I'm not even gonna lie, I won't go into we were talking about the progressive timeline. We were doing a Kaizen event. We were talking about the progressive timeline of technology. And one of the things they said was in 1901, the radio was invented. And we started talking about how since that time, like, how do people get their music? And I said CD player, and one of the 20-year-olds in the class or in the room was like, what is that?
No.
Had no clue what a CD player was.
I mean, he is pretty ghouly here, to be fair.
So anyway, what I'm saying is he's not so ghouly that it's like, this is what it probably would have looked like. Yes, you're looking at a 420p image, right? So if
I can confirm that they were released in
or
HD.
8K, look at, you could see the cheeks are prosthetic. So anyway, I digress. I'm just saying.
See if we can zoom in.
Your arrogance blinds you, Natalie.
I mean, he does. I mean, he was a little poofy here. He was. You're right. You guys are right. He's a little poofy. He gained a little bit of weight.
So I'm just saying, like, the figure is going to be in high def. You're looking at it in real time, in real, like, I can touch it. I can look at it. It's tangible. So does it look ghouly? Yes, but I think it's supposed to. If it was too soft, everyone would be complaining, where's all the wrinkles? Why doesn't it look like he's so burnt up? He's too soft. Like that. You can't win. So either way, you're going to put a hood on it. And maybe that's why they went a little extra on it. Like if you put a hood on it and you put it in a detop and the light can't hit the wrinkles, maybe it just looks like he's just pale and needs a suntan. So like maybe they had to go extra ghouly for effect. How do people display it? That's just my take on it. I think it looks great. I think if we're talking about Hot Toys, we're always talking about the head sculpt. The head sculpt is the creme de la creme. And if we're talking about movie accurate wrinkles, look at those piercing yellow eyes. And then separate rolling eyeballs, because you can, obviously people want to make it look like Pennywise, apparently. I think it looks really good. It's got a sinister grimace on his face or smile. I think this captures the essence of him. We may not have Emperor Palpatine, but you have the essence of like what he was and what he became. So I think this looks really good. I think, yes, there's probably a little thickness on his face, but he did have massive prosthetics. So yeah. I do agree about the fabric. And Keco, I didn't even think about that until you just said it. So thank you for ruining that for me. Now, every time I see the hood, I'm thinking I'm going to have to like go on to Monkey Depot or something and buy the other hood or the other what is it? What would you call it?
Is it like Toy Anxiety? You can get that. You can go there.
Monkey Depot, Toy Anxiety. Yeah, they're the same type of
concept.
So, I'll have to buy like a separate cloak or something just to do it because the fabric is like thick with 2 C's. Not a good.
Well, I will say, Natalie, you said the head sculpt is the creme de la creme, and then just like 15 minutes ago, you said Mace Windu is going to stand out on a shelf. So I think
I'm saying for hot toy collectors, people are saying that the sculpt is the creme de la creme. So what else is there about this guy? He's wearing a full potato sack. There's nothing else about him except his face. So they had to go all out on it. If you don't like make him super sinister and grimacy, if you make him barely like being grimacy, like everyone's going to complain about it. So they had to go all in. Plus, he wasn't just sitting there going something, right? He's like, he's got his whole evil smile. So wrinkles are going to get pronounced. And then he's got his little nails going on there. His electric, I'm just kidding. Obviously,
electric nails
are not nails. No, you never know. This chat will eat me alive. Keco, you missed it.
I've heard.
Yeah, Natalie, that was Natalie's most infamous moment when she said, "What was it? What's his name is cooler than Revan?" She said.
I did. I messed up.
What was the guy's? I forget his name. He's so uncool.
Starfighter.
Starkiller?
No, not the Merrick. Merrick. She said Merrick looks cooler than Revan. Yeah.
Oh wait, the dude from Ahsoka?
Yeah.
Fake news.
Yeah, that was fake news, 100%.
Look, I don't know. I didn't know about the video game. Apparently, I had to go like kill my firstborn child because I didn't know.
It is more plausible that kid didn't know what a CD player is, that you didn't know what KOTOR is. That is what is crazy to me.
You should
play it. You should play. It's on. You can play it on Steam. You could play it on Steam or play it on Xbox or something like that. It's great. And they're going to remake it at some point in 2036. It's going to be remade. So yeah, it's going to be out there. But I will say,
Will threw me under the bus in his comments when someone was like, "Why didn't you tell her, man? She did been out for 10 years." And he's like, "Dude, I didn't have the heart to tell her."
Well, because you said like, "Oh, I don't have a PlayStation, I can't play this," but I was just like, "Well, you could play." I didn't have the heart to tell you. I don't want to break it to you, but it's.
And then Mark Attack tried to get me canceled, which he's
it's true. Hashtag cancel Natalie. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I will say though,
I'm gone for 2 weeks and everyone gets delusions of grandeur.
Yeah, that's what happens, Keco. That's what happens, dude. Yeah. You left a big void there, so it's shit got pretty wild.
Look here. I want you to have this back. Right, here's the spicy crown. I'm going to put that back where it belongs.
Yeah,
Bison crown. What?
Bison?
The spicy crown.
Oh, okay.
Well, the spicy crown.
The Bison crown.
No, not Bison. Everyone was like, "Keco's back. It's going to get spicy," and I said, "Thank God," because I never ever want to disagree with anybody when Keco isn't there.
Yeah, Keco will take that mantle for you. I will say though, Natalie and Keco, I mean, these dark side commemorative coins, I know Keco's going to have all of them. He's going to collect them all. And I think that could be a cool display.
So that was another thing I had said, and everybody literally booed me out of the room. So I said, Keco, listen, I think you would agree with me on this, right? We always talk about these little exclusives. I don't mean to change the subject, I'm sorry. But we always talk about these exclusives, like what would entice collectors to like pre-order in advance or like buy a line. And I said, well, what if all of the things, maybe it's not a coin, maybe it's like in order, like with Thanos, thinking about how do you get everyone to buy this stuff, right? In order to get all of the stones for the gauntlet, you had to get all 4 characters. There's a level of exclusivity there.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Hasbro.
Whatever.
Yeah, see, and I told Natalie, I was like,
I thought it was a unique idea.
Yeah, I was like, well, that's like a Build-A-Figure. That's like Marvel Legends, because I know all of us, Natalie, maybe you didn't, but most of us start with Marvel Legends. It's like the gateway drug. Start with Black Series and Marvel.
No, we start with Funko Pops.
And then you go to Marvel Legends and Black Series. Then eventually you get your first hot toy, and it's
and like, then you're full on meth addict at that point.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like there's no going back. I mean, exactly right.
I would argue that there are some meth addicts that may have more self-control than some of these average collectors like you and me.
I mean, honestly, probably. I mean, yeah.
I mean, Will, to be fair, we have people selling themselves to get crack, and then you are sitting there saying, "Oh, I really need that fucking coin."
Dude, exactly. It's true. They're selling yourselves for crack or selling yourself for a coin. I mean, one way or another, you're selling something. So it's, people are often to sell kidneys and shit all the time for figures. I mean, like, I think they would do it too. I think
have you ever donated plasma? When I was in college, I used to donate plasma for an extra $20.
No, how do you even do that? How is it?
I don't know I don't know the logistics anymore, but I literally just walk into the shadiest clinic and be like, "Hey, I'm here to donate plasma." And they hook you up to a machine and drain blood plasma out of you, and then you get a $20 bill and you walk out and go to McDonald's.
Really? I thought about donating sperm before, but I don't know how that works. Like, is that something where so if I'm bald, does that count against me? Is that like a
It does. Yeah. You have to put on there that you're predisposed to genetic baldness.
See, yeah, no one's gonna want my sperm then. Like
they might. They may not say that doesn't matter.
If you show them your hot toy collection, then
I'll show the Balder statue you referenced. Then you're gonna be like, that's what I want. Yep. Pick me out of a line. Well, isn't that what they do? Like they look at your picture and then they choose which sperm they want. Is that how it works? Keco, you're muted, but I'm curious to hear what you're going to say.
I was going to say, it's not like America's Next Top Model. Be like, "Oh, I like that one. I want that one." And no, I don't think you get to even know what the people look like, because I think it's all anonymous.
Shit. Okay.
And that's why the Darth Sidious is the best figure ever.
Yeah, and that's why Darth Sidious is a
full circle, because we talked about Sidious porking people to make his children. So
and he suffers from genetic male balding.
Sidious donated his sperm willingly. Okay, whoever was a willing participant.
His was willing, but we're not for sure if it was received.
Yeah, I mean, I probably was. I mean,
and that sperm is what generated Will's favorite movie.
Yeah, exactly. Well, dude, Keco, women will fuck. I mean, guys do it too for money all the time. I mean, in status, even if the guy's not attractive, if he's got money, Sidious had a lot of power, dude. He's fucking emperor of the universe. I mean, there's probably bitches lining up to sleep with Sidious. I mean, I can only imagine.
Actually, it's the galaxy, not the universe.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. He's the emperor, dude. Women would sleep with the president. Talk about the emperor. I mean,
women do sleep with the presidents. Where have you been?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't follow politics. You know this. You have to fill me in on this shit. So,
Boy, I got some stories to tell you about this guy called Bill Clinton. You'll blow your mind.
All right, we'll talk about it on the drive to Cincinnati or at the ball game with your mom.
Bro, just wait. Even Kennedy was getting some.
Dude. Yeah, we really went off topic with that one, but I think it ended up working out. I think it all came full circle. Natalie was right. It all comes back to Palpatine fucks. That's it. All comes back. It all comes back.
And I fuck with that figure. So there we go.
Dude, I got to pre-order that with Josh. I'm going to do it after the show's over because Natalie talked me into it. I was kind of on the fence. Like, I don't know, Sidious. I mean, he fucks. He's pretty cool, but Natalie was like, it's a good figure, and and Keco too. So I think I'm gonna get it. And I got to review it because people want they like those entertaining reviews from all the YouTube channels. So let's talk about something that you know what, the community's not that excited about, unfortunately, because this is Ron Weasley. Natalie though is, because Natalie even saw this. Natalie saw in the comments, people were commenting like immediately once I posted the video. By the way, I fucked this up majorly. I don't know if anyone noticed this. Keco, I don't know if you did. So InArt will send some of the photos like a little bit before they post them, right? So basically, I had the photos. I filmed the preview video real quick, and I didn't even think anything about it. I was like barely awake, right? I posted the video like 15 minutes before InArt even posted the photos. So then they were like, hey, don't do that. So I posted it and I was like, oh shit. So I just privated it real quick and people were messaging me and they were like, what happened to the video? I was like, just give it 15 minutes. It'll be back up. So like, I think Justin, you told me, he was like, you just announced InArt Ron. I was like, well, no one watched it anyway. So it's fine. No one really watched that video anyway. So next time I know not to share until InArt.
Pretty sure the actor that played Ron didn't even know that it was released. So
yeah, Natalie did.
Or even cares that it was.
I watched it twice before you even got a chance to take it down.
That's true. Yeah, exactly. You probably did, Natalie, but it was funny. And I was like, oh, whoops. I didn't know that. So I took it down real quick and then I put it back up 15 minutes later. I was 15 minutes early though. It wasn't that bad. But anyway, no one really cared anyway, because this figure looks phenomenal. It looks so good. I mean, this might be, it's certainly one of InArt's best head sculpts. And I think it's one of the best 1/6 prototype head sculpts I've ever seen personally. However, it's a Harry Potter figure. And at the end of the day, we got to speculate, are collectors really going to commit to these 1/6 Harry Potter figures? Certainly there are plenty of Harry Potter fans out there, and there are certainly plenty of people that are willing to buy them, but is it going to be enough to continue this line for InArt? And I want to ask the question, I'll start with you, Natalie, because Keco disappeared. So collectors don't seem to really care about this one. I don't sense a lot of excitement despite how good the figure is. And I can just tell you, usually when I look at the preview numbers, not just for my own videos, but for other YouTubers' videos too, and I don't sense a lot of excitement. I don't sense a lot of engagement. I don't, this figure just doesn't quite have the hype level of Paul Atreides or Batman or Pennywise. Someone comment. So Will always brings it back to Pennywise. I do. And then, you know, you had a Joker, of course, and all that. So Ron Weasley looks amazing, but I'm wondering, InArt's about to dedicate a bunch of resources to a bunch of Harry Potter figures. We got Harry, we got Ron, we got Hermione with her legs, which we'll talk about, and we got Dumbledore, right? Natalie, you're a big Harry Potter stan. I got to ask you the question. How much do you care about this? And also factor in, this is kids' prices, not InArt's prices, but $586, whatever it was, out the door shipped for this Ron Weasley. Natalie, should InArt continue to devote resources to the Harry Potter line? Because we got a suspect start here. What are your thoughts?
$525 on other places, $589 in some places. So if we're talking about price, Funko Pops versus Hot Toys, we're talking about numbers. This is semantics. All of you are paying whatever the hell you pay for the things you like. So I'm going to put price and I'm going to put it in a basket and I'm going to put it outside and I'm going to put a post-it on it that says trash, because I don't care about price, right? We're talking about things that people like. Where are you going to get this? Are you going to go to So Toys? Do they have a Harry Potter, Ron Weasley, a Hermione Granger? Do they have a backdrop of the Gryffindor common room? Do they have a sorting hat that you can put on your figures? No. So stop talking about like what the price is. If you like this, right? If you enjoy this, you're not getting it anywhere else. And why would you want to? Let's talk about his face, his head sculpt, the creme de la creme that we were talking about before. Do collectors care? Yes, they do. If you collect anything with Harry Potter, then yes, you care. you are on Facebook and Reddit and the places where all of the Star Wars and Marvel stands collaborate. They all data dump in one place, but maybe that's not where the people who like this stuff are at. How many women are in this chat right now? If you're a woman in this chat, please let me know you're here. Tell me that you're here, because I want to know, do
If
women
Amy's
always...
there, say hello.
Amy, say
Amy's
hello.
probably here. I know Ty always watches too. She watches like secretly, like, you know,
She does.
the predator in a corner. Since we're talking about, I don't even know who it was. Someone said I like him young. When you pulled up this,
Who said that?
Somebody said.
Do we need to
right?
time someone out?
Somebody got time. Anyway, so not everybody is on Facebook or Reddit. I don't think that nobody cares. I think it's a much smaller group, but I think the group, I mean, Pennywise, how big of a group was that? Don't give me that, Will. You
Natalie.
6 out of the 5 that were listed for sale. Okay.
There's literally 2 back there, okay?
Exactly. That was 50%
Natalie
of
is
inventory.
fired up right
She
now.
is fired up today. Natalie's coming
50%
out
of inventory.
swinging, dude.
So when I look at this figure, first of all, look at his little smirk. Look how adorable he looks. This is exactly what he looked like in the movie. The only thing, some people are like, oh, well, what about the little smudge? I don't care about the little smudge. I wouldn't even want that on there anyway. This is the perfect, he is a supporting character, and everybody says, oh, well, if Harry Potter didn't sell very well, how could this possibly sell well? Harry Potter and Ron are both, people identify with different characters. If you look at Ron, right, he is the comedic relief. He is the one who brings laughter to very serious moments, right? Remember when he had his little broken wand and the spewing slugs coming out of his mouth? People relate to him. Like if you were a nerd back in, junior high school when this movie came out and when this book came out, people like Ron as much as they like Harry, depending on who they related to. If you weren't the hero, maybe you were the comedic relief. Maybe you were the sidekick to your life story. I really like this. I'm super excited for this. I can't wait to have this. I can't wait to have all 3 of them. Hermione's knees can kick rocks. We got to figure that situation out. But the rest of it, like, even he's got the rat on his shoulder. Like, I'm so thrilled for this. I'm buying both. I'm buying the rooted and the non-rooted, right? Because I need to see which one I like better. Maybe I want one. Maybe I don't know if I'll display them both. I've got 2 different places where I have things displayed. Maybe I want them, because I'm not going to be able to fit the backdrops in these. I'm only going to be able to fit the characters in these. So maybe I put the backdrops with the other characters somewhere else. But I think it's super detailed. It's super iconic. The beautiful ginger hair and that wand. I'm so happy. So for me, it's a 10 out of 10. The smirk, the poses you can do, the accessories it comes with. He's got the chocolate frogs, which is screams Ron. So anyway, I'll stop talking because I feel like I'm going over passionate rambling right now. I'm pulling a Keco.
I mean, I love it.
What was the question? I don't even know what the question was.
You didn't even consider the question, Natalie.
Yes, more resources.
I'll step in here and answer the question.
Keco, you gotta answer the question. Keco, I gotta ask you first though. Do you know what a bungalow is?
Yeah.
I didn't. Natalie told me we were gonna go to a bungalow. I was like, what the fuck is that, dude? I don't even know what that is. What is that?
Bungalow.
It's like a little shack house type of thing.
Oh, okay.
You can rent bungalows over the water in some nice tropical locations.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's Natalie was talking about going in Florida to a bungalow. I was like, you're gonna have to translate.
The best ones is that you get the ones that have the floor where you can dive directly into the water. Like,
Natalie, does our bungalow have that? Because that would be pretty.
What do you mean our bungalow?
Because you said we were getting a bungalow.
I said, hey, if you want to come in September, we can all like get a bungalow. And he's like, I don't even know what that is. And then
if we can dive through the floor, then I'm down.
All right,
but anyway, Keco, go ahead. Sorry.
I don't know if we've had more off the beaten path topics on a stream with actual topics than we've had tonight, and it's exceptional. So, Natalie, I love the passion. I love the enthusiasm. I love the putting your money where your mouth is, because that's all stuff I support. But I'm glad that works for you. But Natalie, you are such a small percentage, unfortunately. And this isn't pointing fingers, because whenever I point a finger, there's 4 pointing back at me. You are such a small percentage of the collecting world, and I don't mean this disparagingly. not a lot of grown men collect Harry Potter stuff. And that's what I think is just so odd, because the numbers for Harry Potter show that not a lot of people were into it. The numbers for Ron, who is a supporting character. And I loved what you had said about the, people of those three, and that's the way it is with any movie, is that people will relate to the ones that they have the most life experiences with. That true, 100%. And there will no doubt be the Ron stands out there that's like, I am Team Weasley all day. But even in Hogwarts Legacy, like, I couldn't stand the Weasleys myself. Like, even the Professor Weasley and all that, I was like, damn, like, this bitch needs to shut up. I can't stand her. But objectively, I'm not saying this isn't an absolute work of art. The question that Will had asked is, should they devote the resources, and is it a worthy investment? Because I don't know a lot of people that are clamoring to get these outside of like you and a few other people, and it's a very small demographic. And because it's not that Harry Potter fans don't spend a shit ton of money on their stuff. They just don't buy high-end collectible dolls, essentially, that I'm aware of. Because I had 2 people message me specifically, and they said, hey, I'm looking at this for my wife. They didn't want it for themselves. And I think that there is a bigger audience for the women to say, hey, I want this. And I'm glad that InArt is offering that, for sure. But is it a smart business decision? And I don't know that, because obviously there's no way to say it. For me, I just cannot put little 11-year-olds in my display. It's weird to me. And no offense to anyone that does that, but there's a reason I didn't get Clone Wars little kid Ahsoka, because it's weird. I didn't want to put a little kid in my display. And these are like the epitome of little children, because it's from the first film. They're cute. It's just not for me. But does InArt see it as marketable enough to say, okay, we are going to be able to make a profit on these? That's the big question. And I don't know, artistically, like I said, 100%, this is beautiful, gorgeous, but they're going to have to follow the money. And I don't know if they'll sell enough, to be honest.
So I don't mean to cut you off, because I know this is
your
part, right? But I live in Orlando, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I go to Universal, and the Wizarding World of Harry Potter has been the most lucrative part of their theme park for the last 15 years. So while you, grown man who has 300 dolls behind him right now, says grown men don't buy certain dolls, right? There are plenty of fans that are going to go to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, and this is likely going to be made available to them to buy.
Then why isn't Harry selling then?
Well, no, Natalie, it's not licensed in the US, so they can't. Remember that.
Okay. But
so
Orlando is one location, right? There's a Disney in Tokyo. There's a Universal Studios in other places. So maybe it's not in Florida, but it's they're places, right? So maybe it's just some places. But also, let's talk about big business strategy. Why would I care to create this if I'm trying to break into 1/6, knowing that kids are probably not the thing? Who owns this IP? Warner Brothers. Mm-hmm. Who owns Batman? Warner Brothers. Who was just recently producing the Harry Potter Fantastical Beasts? Hot Toys. How do you compete with the biggest name brand on the market unless you can go toe-to-toe with them on licenses that they already have? This is the closest they're going to get to competing with them. Pennywise, they had to go toe-to-toe with them. They had to do Joker. They have to do, like, everyone keeps saying, well, why do they keep releasing things that this company already either just did or has done? Like, they need to be unique. They need to be different. Everything they want to be unique and different about hasn't come out. Like Daenerys, where is it, right? So they are trying to compete on a different level. And I don't think it's just for the fan of Harry Potter. I think they're picking ones that they can get cheap so that they can break into certain markets. They have to compete first before they can tap into all right, we're going to get a license with Disney. But
if they don't sell them, it doesn't matter how much the license is. They're not selling them, so they can't make money.
Well, I mean, if you are a company based in another country, and this is when you think of the
counting it kind of like as a loss for a product, basically counting it as a loss for the bigger picture is what you're saying?
I don't know if they thought it would be a huge loss. I think maybe they thought, okay, well, let's look. Warner Brothers, one of their biggest IPs in the history of Warner Brothers, has been Harry Potter.
Yeah, for
from
sure.
merchandising, multi-billion-dollar industry. So they said, wow, this is a great place to break in. Is it going to do great in 1/6? Probably not, but they probably already committed to all of the 3 golden trio. And so they committed to it. Now they've got to go for it. So for me, I'm super excited about that. Is it going to do amazing? No, but I guarantee you these are going to be super grails. Watch. You think
Yeah.
Black Adam is a grail? Just wait.
I can tell you that it's not.
So Natalie, Natalie, I'm with you insofar as like I do think what you guys all said is true. I mean, to be honest, I do think Harry Potter is one of the biggest franchises on the planet. There's no doubt about that. There are people that are willing to spend money on Harry Potter shit. Like you said, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter and Universal is fucking crazy. No matter what time you go, people are crazy for it. Hogwarts Legacy, they'll always make a new Harry Potter IP. There's a lot of Harry Potter fans, but I think it's so hard to say besides what we see in our own community, right? But I can just tell you the data and the facts say consistently that no matter what you make for Harry Potter, like people don't give a fuck. Like,
if they would have done the 18-year-old versions of them, we'd be
maybe that could have been different. But like, because I see the chat. There's a lot of people that do have some trepidation about collecting, and there's some really good comments and some chatter going on there. But kid collectibles. I mean, I collect Ellie from The Last of Us. She's with Joel, so to me, it's a little bit different. I don't really have a problem with collecting a kid character like this personally. I just am not overly connected to Harry Potter. But for me, I think it's just a matter of, here's what I would speculate. It's pure speculation. So again, before anyone gets offended with me, here's what I would say. Pure speculation based on what I have seen. I think there are many, many fans of Harry Potter who are men, but I think the majority of Harry Potter collectors are probably women. And I think at the end of the day, when that's a reality, and we think about our niche community of 1/6 scale collecting, yes, there are many women out there, amazing female collectors. But female collectors for 1/6 scale collecting, at least as far as this community is concerned, are a bit of a minority. Like I can tell you for a fact, based on the people who watch this channel, they're like 3 to 5% of the audience. My channel is not indicative of the entire community by a long stretch, but say on a high end, they might be 15%, right? Like now you're talking about a figure that's almost $600. And it's like, and you got 15%. You're going like Keco said, to a niche, to a niche, to a niche. And that's the problem, I think. My thing is, this looks incredible. Like Keco said, this is a work of art. Like Harry is too, for that matter. These set sculpts are beautiful, but I'm just thinking like when InArt is announcing like 5 tops figures a year, like an InArt announcement is like an exciting event. And when this one is one of the 5, you're just kind of like, oh man, we took one of the 5 on Ron Weasley. You know what I mean? That's I guess that's my reaction. But again, Pennywise is different, right? For me. So I get it. Like I get in your case why you'd be so excited for it. And I'm happy. I don't say this figure like shouldn't exist and I'm mad it exists. I think it's amazing and I'm happy for people who want it. But for me, it's just like, I just wanted something different because we get so few InArt announcements and this is one of them. And to me, it's just like a lot of people are just like my preview video, I couldn't beg people to watch it. I mean, like I can't dress up Ron Weasley enough in the title or, whatever. And people are just like, no, like they don't care. And
might you share?
Yeah, might you share? Exactly. So, but at the end of the day, Natalie, in your case, who fucking cares? If you love it, this is amazing. This is one of the best set sculpts I've ever seen.
You win in the end.
Like, I mean, yeah, but I'm just talking about the resources here because we're going to have Dumbledore, Harry, Hermione, Ron, 4 figures at minimum from this line. And it's just like, is this the line to kind of push all your chips in on? When
well,
1/6
I guess
is
if it's not this one, then it better be Dune because Dune is even bigger than
Lord of the Rings is a good one. I mean, Lord of the Rings, you probably only need like 4.
Dune is wonderful. Look how amazing. Oh, so many people love Dune. We better put all the chips into Dune.
When Dune 2 came out, it changed. When Dune 2 came out, it changed. Yeah, because Dune 1, Keco remembers too. Keco has been around long enough to remember.
We want to say Harry Potter was their lowest. I want to see the numbers for Dune. I want to see the pre-order.
No, numbers. Dune did pretty well. Yeah, Paul Atreides did pretty well. Yeah, Harry Potter was. I don't have the. By the way, we can ask. By the way, I don't know if I've even told Keco this yet. John from InArt is going to be on for an interview in 2 weeks, I think. So we're going to have him on. We can ask him. I don't know if he'll have the exact figures, but we can say like, why'd you do Harry Potter? Natalie's excited, but what's the investment in this line? And so forth. So we can ask him and see what he says. This is a work of art, though. I will say at the end of the day.
We're going to make a full 360 right here. We're just going to full circle to Natalie's very first ever appearance on the WillFoxification show. And the question came up, so what would get female collectors more enticed to join the community? And one of the topics were Harry Potter. Go watch that video. I promise.
Because
you.
my stance has remained remarkably consistent. It's
It
funny, I
was
got so
on-
much.
That question was on that.
Natalie, I
that
got
video.
so much shit from my coworkers though for saying that the fan audience of Harry Potter is primarily women in my speculation. They were like, no, absolutely not. I'm like, I think it is. I'm not saying that's a bad thing or it's wrong. I'm just stating that that's what I believe to be true. On my experience. So
yeah. So this is their approach, right? Come on, ladies, look at this wonderful little Harry Potter.
But is the entry drug $600 for, you know what I mean? Like that's not the entry level. That's
You're trying to say women don't make as much as men.
No, they
I'm just kidding.
you make more than I do. I mean, I'm pretty sure.
I'm not doing.
I mean,
that.
I would love to have a sugar mom. I just haven't found one yet, but I would love to.
The Latinas, man, that's what you got to do.
They are. I still have this picture of Sidious up for some reason. I don't know why this is still around. You can't get rid of them, but I mean, that was a great discussion. Natalie, when this figure dropped, you're the first person I and everyone else thought of. So I'm happy for you. Yeah. Honestly, though, you know what? When Pennywise dropped for pre-order, no one questioned it. Everyone was like, "Yeah, this is really cool." So I think But
the last thing I'll say with that, and we can wrap this conversation up.
Yeah,
I think a lot of it does have to do with them being kids. I think some people are like, I don't want a kid toy of a kid. I really do think that's a huge part of it. Could be. And by the way, I'm so sorry, guys, for being slow on the draw with the super chats. Melon, get a melon. Yeah, melon's gonna melon, dude. I apologize, but yeah, it could be that. But at the end of the day, Ron Weasley looks incredible. So if you have $600 to spend and you love Harry Potter, just get you a Ron Weasley, dude. That's what I would say. Like Natalie, get two. Natalie's just crazy. I bought two Pennywises, and and they're both deluxe versions. So, who am I to say? I think I'm probably the crazy. I have a half scale Pennywise too. So, yeah. I mean, I don't have a half scale Ron Weasley. Would that be weird, Keco? A half scale Ron Weasley?
That would be weird. You have a little boy in your room. That was just
See? There you go.
No, if you're worried about the IT lamp,
no, the IT lamp is amazing.
No, I was gonna say, if you're worried about anyone saying like what's going on with the IT lamp next to your bed, if you have a Ron Weasley like half-size bust next to your bed of a child, yeah, this isn't Neverland, people. By the way, Jay Voodoo is here. Shout out to Jay Voodoo. Thanks so much, bro. $4.99 super chat. Not Dark Side 2.0, but absolutely love this figure. I definitely see him looking more horror-ish. He's talking about Sidious, but man, he still is badass. Dude, Jay, super excited for you, bro. I'm going to be picking this one up. I'm going to drop my PO with Josh, Comic Concepts, when this stream is over, I think. I need to do that. So, yeah, but dude, thank you so much, Jay. I appreciate you being here, bro. Gavin has got a shout out for Keco, an offering. $4.99 Keco. I snagged Artisan Anakin. I live in Tennessee, so I'd be happy to let a fellow Tennessean borrow him if you want to review him on your channel. So it's a borrow. It's a no, absolutely not. That's just putting salt in the wound at that point. Because if you let me borrow him, you won't get him back. Yeah, exactly. Keco, you're gonna get one because Natalie's gonna sell you hers. So I believe it. Yeah. Well, I mean, she's got to pay for two Ron Weasley somehow. That's gonna say, if I sit there and keep shit talking Harry Potter, then maybe not. Yeah. Remember with Riley, you were like, the Batman's the best, dude. The Batman's the best. So yeah, it does work. All you do is butter them up just a little bit, and it does work. So kids will be kids. It's true. I think there was one more super chat, so bear with me, guys. Reacts and Games, thank you so much. 199, I believe it's a euro. I'm not sure, but I'm an American and I'm ignorant. If you missed out on Harry, you can't just have Ron. That's a good point, because Harry PO closed pretty quickly, I think, because it was a low popularity pre-order, and it closed relatively quick. And then now trying to find it, like as Natalie knows, trying to find a Harry that's rooted is very difficult. And if you're trying to get Ron and maybe Hermione, it's sort of like a barrier to getting all of them, because Harry's so. That's why I think they will reopen the Harry. Like Keco, Kit will eventually post, oh, I got more Batmans, I got more Gandalfs, I got more, like before they actually ship, not like now, but before they actually ship. So you should have another opportunity to get Harry. Yeah, you got to get it now. Get the Ron while it's retail, and then chase the Harry. You can always buy that later. Yeah, you'll pay more, but either you pay more just for one or you pay more for all three. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Well, you know what? I'm not sure that anyone needs to pay for this, but we're going to talk about this. This is the Clone Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi. And I know Keco, you got this, didn't you? I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So I got to bring this up. I'm sorry for throwing shade here, but this is just my opinion on this Clone Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi. I don't feel personally this is up to par, so I'm not.
I'm not super excited about that because at the end of the day, there is so many head sculpts out there for Ewan McGregor now. Because we had Revenge of the Sith, we had this version. Now we have the Mando version, which is the same version as the Clone Wars version. And it just, to me, should we be accepting mediocre head sculpted beloved characters? And while I pull up the pics here, I want to get your opinion on this, Keco. The Clone Wars Obi-Wan ship. We'll talk about the Mando Obi-Wan in a little bit, which is the same exact head sculpt, but they just can't seem to get Ewan McGregor right for some reason. And I need your thoughts on this. This is a photo that was shared online, by the way. Someone who took the new head sculpt and put it on the Obi-Wan from Revenge of the Sith. He's got no upper lip, dude. I mean, where is it? This was the same issue from the previous version, and now we have it again with this version. Keco, I'll bring up the blogger pics, but I want to get your thoughts. What are your thoughts on this one?
Disappointed, but not game breaking, I guess, because didn't we just have this conversation about Mace Windu about are we accepting beloved characters being mid? I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that people don't know how to do the eyes right. Because this is movable eyes, you know, and I think a lot of people struggle with that. And if you have it off even slightly, it's going to look very wonky. This in particular, it's on the wrong. It's not meant to sit that low on the head, so it looks like he has no neck. But let's just talk about the head sculpt. I'm sure the paint apps are exponentially better than the Revenge of the Sith one from a few years ago. But we are really struggling below the nose because I think the nose and up looks pretty damn good. But I don't know if it's the beard. I don't know if it's the lip. I don't know what is going on there. But I'm just hoping that whenever Padawan Kenobi comes out, there is no beard, so we're going to be fine. And, you know, it'll be the best sculpt ever from that point. But it gives you just so much to be desired because this is arguably the most important character in all of Star Wars, being Obi-Wan Kenobi. And to just have these continual swings and misses, it's disappointing because the original Revenge of the Sith head sculpt, the prototype, everyone's like, oh shit, this is going to be it. And we saw what happened with that. There was a downgrade, possibly some tweaking, and we're like, well, it is what it is. It's still Kenobi. And then the Kenobi show version came out, and they're like, oh God, what's this? And we still haven't seen what the new one's going to look like, but it looks like they've updated that potentially. And then they showed this, and they're like, oh, finally, we're getting something that's going to be better. And it's just not. They've had time to work it because it obviously put the moving eyes in. I don't know what the problem. Hair looks great for what it's worth. I think the eyes are a huge part. I think that it just looks dead, but damn, the lips are starting to get ridiculous at this point. And I took the dick out of my mouth from last week, and I'm now waving that dick around saying, like, what has happened here? I was like, this is not good.
Sometimes you got to wave that dick around, dude.
You do. I mean... And maybe it's just the prototype one's a little bit better, but I know we're going to talk about it. It looks better on the Mando body than it does this. And I don't know if it's maybe the neck or I don't know. And because I know it's the exact same head sculpt, but just disappointed. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I think so too, bro. And I mean,
should we accept it? I mean, apparently, because we get a variant of the exact same thing. So it's like you want more? Here you go.
Well, it's like, bro, I really want a Ewan McGregor Obi-Wan in my collection. I want Alec Guinness too. The Alec Guinness head sculpt is amazing. I've just been waiting for a 2.0 version, but I really want a Ewan McGregor Obi-Wan. I love that character, but like they just can't seem to get it right. But it was the same way with Loki for a long time. Remember? Like
it's Loki, the same with Mark Hamill. It just takes forever for them to figure it out, and I just don't understand that. I really don't.
Yeah, like they really get it right. So I mean, you know, it just. But I will say, at a distance, it looks cool with these type of shots, right? You know, I do think that's pretty cool. So at the end of the day, I mean, people who love Clone Wars are going to get this probably regardless. But it just feels, again, maybe I'm overreacting, but it just feels a little bit disappointing. Yeah,
the whole release is a little bit disappointing. I would. Once again, not trying to go to another topic, but I feel like the Mando release is better than this one because this one's still, well, everything's all just kit bash reused pieces, but everyone's upset about the clone armor on this one, saying, well, it's not accurate. And
yeah,
it's very, very basic.
Does this lend some credence to the fixed Black Suit Toby movement? Because like, do we need to start, like, I see the comments here from Mark, do we need to start bitching more about prototypes? Because
no, I don't think anything that we've lost viewers and subscribers on it because of some of the stances that we've taken about people's complaints and things like that. And they're valid. They really are. If you're spending this much on figures, you do have a say-so in it. But I don't know where that is for me, to where I just bend over and take it. And then when I want to bitch and complain, I don't know where that is for me. I can't answer it because I'm happy that they're doing the figure. And it's almost like well, I don't want to stir the pot because they may get mad and not give me anything, that type of situation. Because the more I complain, they're going to stop doing the things, that I really like. We're just in an abusive relationship. That's where it is.
Yeah, I guess so. Natalie, are we in an abusive relationship? What are your thoughts on this, Obi-Wan?
You've seen the whole thing about P. Diddy right now.
Dude, I don't even know what happened. Was there news or something?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
It's P. Diddy. Okay.
No, I don't even know what happened, but that's bold right there.
Listen, we're talking about, okay. I don't know anybody who bitched more about prototypes than Riley Reviews.
Yeah, Riley and Nick. Yeah, for sure.
Did they change anything? Did they fix the web? Yes.
They may have fixed the web on the hood.
They did.
Mask, whatever. But not because of Riley.
Right. Well, no, it was exactly because of him. So they fixed the web. But did they change prototype? Did they change the face? Did they do it because they bitched, right? Or did they do it because after release, there was a QA? This is why batches. We always talk about why are batches important? There must have been a prototype, right? The first wave release. They saw a bunch of complaints after it released. Or I don't think that if everybody complains at prototype, that they're going to do much about it unless it's going to significantly impact their sales. At least not that I've seen. We've had the very few and far between. I don't know, man. There's a case to be made about all of it, right? So there's the case about mediocre head sculpts, right? What we're talking about right now, mediocre head sculpts. There's a high price point, right? They are expensive. They often cost us hundreds of dollars. Some of us are far more passionate about certain characters than others. How many of us get disappointed? There's a lot of cases you could make, but I think at the end of the day, there's this level. The reason why everyone gets so angry or hype about it is because we feel like there's a broken promise. At least that's what, in my opinion, right? You tell me that you're the best. There's no one else out there, right? Don't buy so-so. Don't buy this. Don't buy third party because Hot Toy is licensed, right? They're the best you can buy. And then we get these and we feel like this is a broken promise. You use this prototype and then you say things like, well, don't worry, we'll make it better. It usually gets better, but we know it's opposite. Hot Toys usually declines just a little bit. They don't usually get better in the end. This is why the whole InArt thing has become such a big kerfuffle. Is that a word? I don't know. I'm going to make it.
I like it though. I like
That's
it.
Very well
This is
done.
why it becomes a whole kerfuffle, because InArt has now, they have flipped that coin on you and they say you can expect a 5% increase by the time we release, right? So they're taking the world that we think we know of pre-ordering and broken promises, and they're saying by the time we release it, you're going to like it more than when you pre-ordered it. And so that's the broken promise effect right now. We just feel like Hot Toys is cheating on us all the time. They ask us for this commitment, and we give it to them.
Do they care? Because the exclusives again went straight to waitlist. So apparently people are still just going to
except Chrome Cody, but the other one.
Well, I mean, according to them, it almost feels like if you don't like this, it's fine. We're just going to let the stock sit long enough until Sideshow says, hey, we're done with this. We want to sell it back to you at a discount. We want to take a cut. And then we'll repaint all that stuff and come out with a Commando or come out with something else, a Listerine Iron Man. Because at the end of the day, that's what they do, right? So if something doesn't sell and it sits and it doesn't make an impact on the community, they'll just take it back. They'll repaint it. They'll pop a new helmet on there and they'll sell it as a limited edition. Go buy this. And then we all run to it and buy it. And we're so happy we have this limited edition exclusive. So, I mean, maybe I'm blending two things here, but should we accept mediocre head sculpts? No, but yes, because what else are we going to do about it? We feel like we're misled when they're like, the character's been released. We're like, yay, Hot Toys.
And that's why I said we're in an abusive relationship.
Samuel L. Thompson. Samuel L. Thompson, I didn't ask for this, but I guess I have to do it because no one else can do it. There's no one else, unless I go to So-So, right? No one else can do it. So until alternatives start to emerge, other companies that produce, right? I hate to say, everyone's like, well, InArt doesn't do all. You're right, they don't. But unless we give those companies our attention, other licensing contracts will never come into play, and we'll never have options for high quality figures. We'll always be stuck with third party. So I do give my attention to InArt. I do give my attention to people who are making an effort to buy licenses, because if we don't, we're only ever going to have Hot Toys as an option. So I'm probably going down like a path. Again, here we go, not answering the question. Should we accept it? No, but there's no other way to change it unless you give attention to companies that are more deserving. I'm not saying that Hot Toys is more deserving or less deserving. I'm just saying, sometimes I do feel like I'm being cheated on by Hot Toys, right? They tell me, hey, we're going to give you this character that only we can give you, but it's like toxic love. It's like they look a little cross-eyed. They don't quite look like the character you want.
So InArt right now is like the loyal girl, but she doesn't text you that often. You know what I mean? Like she'll text you like when she feels like
she's
every
so delayed.
She's like delayed, but like but Hot Toys is always present, but you're in that toxic relationship. Like sometimes
it's
it's
you all
roller
the time,
coaster.
but it's a bunch of nonsense.
And which one do you like, Will?
The toxic one. Yeah. Kiko knows this because sometimes
we want the attention. We want someone to be available to us.
That's true. Yeah.
We're not going to chase.
But not what's her name? Not the one you try to set me up with.
Kiko, I got to tell you about your boy, though.
No,
we've tried to set him up too.
Yeah, Kiko tried to set me. And you know what, Natalie? Kiko didn't take my side. It broke my heart. It broke my heart until he found out that he knew I was fucking right, dude. I had that right. I want to say
I name and shame. Is it? Are we talking about the one I'm thinking?
Yeah, the one you're thinking of. Yeah, the one near you. Yeah. That you tried to set me up with. You said I fumbled the ball, and I was like, no, I fucking didn't, dude. I had this shit under control. I had it 2 hands. I was carrying that football. I was not going to fumble. So yeah, but nonetheless, Natalie knows what happened in Florida when I was there, so it was pretty wild. But Kiko, if you come to Florida, dude, you can hear some of these stories, so it'll be pretty wild.
I mean, you told me some of them, but
but yeah. So, but anyway, guys, let us know your thoughts on General Obi-Wan Kenobi from Clone Wars. Here's to hoping that the Kenobi version from the TV show actually comes out really good, because they updated that head sculpt. It looked pretty good. They showed it at different events and stuff, so we'll see. I have some hope for that one. That could be one that everyone sleeps on, right? And then it comes out really good, and then everyone just tries to get it last second, and it's sold out everywhere. That could be one. So especially that it has the separate lightsaber box exclusive version. That's pretty cool. That's a good accessory. It's better than the coins, I would say.
I think it looks good.
What, the new Obi-Wan? This Obi-Wan?
Yeah.
Clone Wars? No, you don't. Tripping.
I absolutely am.
That's cap, Natalie. As the kids say.
100%. I think it looks really good. So, okay, his lip is covered by a mustache. Show me any man with a mustache that is on his lip. Not you. That's not a mustache.
It is.
You just haven't shaved yet. Show me a real. Look, where's Tom Selleck? Get me a photo of Tom Selleck now.
Selleck?
Show me that masculine, manly lip.
Pull it up. I have masculine, manly lips, Natalie. Okay?
No.
Yes,
I said a Tom Selleck.
What about Burt Reynolds?
Yeah, Burt
Reynolds, right? Well, there's a lot of kids in here. But anyway, pull up these manly men. You can't see the top of their lip. Who cares? He looks amazing. Whatever. Go watch Clone Wars. You cannot see his lip in Clone Wars. And if you're a Clone Wars fan, you don't care about the lip.
Yeah, you might be right.
I'm about to boot you out of here. I don't know how to do it, but I'm going to figure it out. And it's going to be the Will Fox and no
trying to boot me out of the stream?
I don't know.
Natalie's on a roll. Because it's still about the Revan thing.
He doesn't. All right.
It's the take she had on Revan. That's
you watch Clone Wars. You know that he doesn't. You can't see his lip.
But I know that is a likeness of
doesn't matter.
And then I turn on Revenge of the Sith.
If we're talking about realism, you can't see his lip in Clone Wars.
That's animation.
3D render.
Okay.
that's 420.
You want me to go get my Wrecker right now?
Wait, is Wrecker the expensive one? Which one's the expensive one? Crosshair.
We're talking about the Bad Batch?
Yeah, Bad Batch.
Well, all right. So what I'm saying
Wrecker doesn't have a mustache.
No, I didn't say he did.
Wrecker and Tech?
What I'm saying is he was made from animation into real life, and he's got like a white eye, and he's got a whole explosion effect on his face, right? they did it right from the show. So it's like saying, oh, well,
it's just
not
that
the same.
facial hair is a hard thing to get right.
It is. It's hard in real life, honestly. But yeah, I mean, it's hard on a figure too. So,
but it's supposed to be Clone Wars. And pull up a photo.
I'm not pulling up Tom Selleck. I'll bring him up. I'll bring him up for the next topic.
See, the chat is with me.
The chat is with me.
I stand 500 deep. I stand 500.
Yep. Thanos did nothing wrong. Keco and I, we maintain. So,
whatever.
But
Magneto did nothing wrong. Did you finish X-Men 97 yet?
No, I've heard it's good though. You told me, and then Justin watched it. He said it's great.
Yeah,
so I gotta watch it.
The finale was pretty wild.
Was it? Okay.
It was like a in-game No Way Home cameo fest. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it's not really a spoiler, but like you having fucking Spider-Man, Daredevil, the Hulk, everyone just like showing up. I'm like, what the hell is happening here?
So we got 2 topics, guys, to round us out, and I think we'll go through this one relatively quickly. But the Hot Toys Imperial Commando and the Commando Trooper, which actually released already, and then we have the Mandalorian Obi-Wan. And my question being, we probably won't spend too much time on this one, but are these good exclusives? These went up for pre-order today, actually, on Sideshow, and I think people have generally a good experience. I haven't checked my messages on Instagram yet, so I'm not sure if people have had a good experience or not. Oh, by the way, I think we did get a massive super chat from Kyle, by the way. I want to bring this up. Kyle, thank you so much, bro. Dude, that's insane. Thank you. Had the Imperial Commando in cart, was 2,100 in line, and it's on topic. Wow. 2,100 in line, roughly went to checkout, got an error, reloaded the page, and it went to waitlist. Gotta love these exclusives. Dude. Well, we're going to talk about that. Kyle, thank you so much, bro, for the super, super generous super chat. We're going to talk about that in our next topic. So thank you so much for leading us into that. But dude, thank you. So generous. Thank you so much. Again, Keco, I got to ask you, bro. Are these good choices for exclusives? The Imperial Commando Trooper and the Obi-Wan and a Mando outfit with the Clone Wars head sculpt. What are your thoughts? Should these be exclusive? Should they even be made? What do you think?
Natalie giggling over there.
Natalie knows. Natalie's going to love these. Watch.
So these are great exclusives because I've said this before. Variants are great because it's not paywalling a massive version of the character. This appeared in one arc of the Siege of Mandalore season, and that's this one time they showed, not the Siege of Mandalore, but when Death Watch takes over Mandalore. So that's what this one episode is from. I think it's season 5, episode 16, if I remember officially. That's great for this one because you're reusing some parts. I love the colors. It's from a canon actual moment, and you can reuse another Obi-Wan, and I think this one's honestly cooler than the Clone Wars one because the armor's better. But you're still stuck with that head sculpt. And but I think it looks better on this one. What's not a good exclusive is the Imperial Commando, but it's also a good exclusive because everyone complained about it and they're like, I don't want that. Animation to realism, that looks terrible. He looks so scrawny, anemic. I'm never getting this. Perfect. That's a perfect exclusive then because no one ever wanted it, according to what the people online say. But it's the worst thing you can do to exclusive a trooper. That's never been made before. I am worried about that. There's a lot of people that don't like the way it looks, but it's still an exclusive trooper that you can't army build because it's only one per person. This is not a named clone. If it was going to be Scorched, they should have let us know that, but it's not. And if they do something with Delta Squad, sure, we'll see what happens there. But this is just a army builder that you can't army build. I don't like that for exclusive. This isn't Blue Bale Man. Like Obi-Wan is 100% like Blue Bale Man. This is the only one I'm disappointed in. And I wish it was powered USB light because the light on the visor is really cool. But I hate that it's battery operated. So are they good exclusives? Yes and no. Like 75% sure that it's a good exclusive.
Yeah, that makes sense. Natalie G, what are your thoughts on this one?
I think this is I don't know if this is agreeing with Keco or not agreeing with Keco. He kind of said
agree with me.
Agree with him for once. We want a healthy relationship.
So I think Keco, you and I are very aligned on what we think a good exclusive is. A good exclusive is something that you can get not behind a paywall. You can get it freely as a pre-order item, but is something that you can get that is a variant of that thing. So for me, this is not a variant of something that already exists, but at the same time, It kind of is. This is Hunter. So Hunter is a commander, right? It's a commando troop from what I remember about Bad Batch, right? He is a commander, so he has the same armor. So it makes sense that it's a repaint, but it's not same helmet, same backpack, like same gun, even same little grenade ball. Like everything about this figure is Hunter. The only difference is the helmet is different. So normally a great variant is, or a great exclusive is, okay, it's this, it's Hunter, but he's orange, right? It's like, okay, I want that exclusive thing.
Like a season 3 outfit or something.
No, see that, that would be
like
different. That would be different. That would be different, I think, because that's a whole different, that's a whole nother arc for him, right? So for me, that's a little different. If
Imperial Crosshair then.
Right. If Crosshair had his variant where he's in his all black Imperial,
right, with the green
suit,
visor.
Yes. Right. That would be,
that
oh my
so
God,
bad.
people would
with
be
the
so
scarred
pissed.
face. That'd be sick.
Yes. And so his hair is much more shaved in season 3, right? It's almost down.
He's bald by then.
Yep. But people would be so pissed. Like they'd have to do that at like a very high limited number. That'd have to be like 4,000, 5,000 minimum release. Otherwise, people would be pissed. Either way, it needs to be a variant of something that's already available. This isn't available to anything, but also because nobody is really going to care about it, I think this is the perfect type of exclusive. When people don't care much about something and it's like, no one's going to order that, make it exclusive. That gets people excited. Regardless of what anybody thinks, oh, well, we don't collect because, we're hype train. We collect because we're fans. Every one of us is here because we're a fan of something. If we weren't, we wouldn't spend $600 on a little redheaded boy in a cloak. Like, we're all here because we're fans of something. The point is that some of us are fans and only buy the things that we're fans of. I almost had like an OnlyFans thing come out of my mouth. But some of us buy things we're only fans of, but then others of us buy those things and also get like this level of excitement. There's an addictive nature to this hobby. You get excited about the exclusivity piece of figures that maybe you wouldn't buy. But that's why art is so amazing. You'll buy like a limited edition piece that the artist produced, and that's exciting for some of us. It doesn't have to be for everyone. And I think that's what these do. These exclusives provide an outlet for people like Keco, people like myself, and maybe I'm not always like this because I'm not going to buy this piece per se, but it provides an outlet for people who seek the limited edition things. There are plenty of Nike Air Max that come out with like colorway. And if you like those type of sneakers, right, you seek them because they are limited, then you're just in the same boat as any collector who buys this stuff. So in my opinion, I think these are perfect exclusives. Oh my God, I was about to do it again. Not the other guy, the guy you love, the video game guy.
Revan. If
Revan would have been an exclusive, the world would have blown up.
Oh, it would have been on fire, dude.
It would have been on fire. The internet would have crashed. Reddit would have been, they would have had to delete the account. People would have been calling the news. Like, it would have been a hellstorm. But that's not the type of figure you release as an exclusive. This is, right? Give me Obi-Wan, no lip, Mando exclusive. Because the people who want it will buy it, and the people who could care less are not going to freaking die about it. So it's perfect.
But they're both waitlisted, so apparently people want them.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because there's plenty of people like you, Keco, that are out there to do this, and we're appealing to their nature, and we're helping people who are not like this, that don't want these as people call it kit bashes. Like, who cares? I don't care about this. Yeah. Great. So then don't bother my market. Let me buy my thing. You go buy your thing. This appeals to multiple levels of collectors. I love this. I think this is one of the best things we could do for the community right now in a time where our market is drowning.
Yeah, it could be. Well, I'm excited because, and we're going to move to our next topic to keep this discussion rolling. But, like we talked about Keco Wenwu's suit. perfect example, right? That's another great exclusive. That one they made like 300 though. They were just like, we want to make this, but this is going to be so unpopular that we're only going to make 300 of them. But we're going to move to our next topic, but we got some super chats. Jay Voodoo, thank you so much again, bro. $4.99, literally piercing my clients while listening to the live. Lots of confused faces. Dude, shout out to the clients out there that are getting pierced right now. Hopefully no.
Or if we offended anybody.
Yeah, hopefully we're doing like ears or something. Dude, wouldn't that be, I don't know why women do that. Wouldn't that be super painful to pierce the nipple like that? I feel like that would just be like, dude, I get tattooed and that's painful enough, dude. I can't imagine piercing something like that. Like people, Jay, you're gonna have to weigh in on this one, bro. Let me know. Like, I'm sure people will pierce all manner of things, but like it's fucking crazy. Dude,
I'm sure they do.
Them streets are wild out there. Them streets are wild out there. I will say Kyle's back as well. Kyle, thank you so much, bro. $4.99. Should have just done this as a normal Commander release, then done Delta as a time pre-order exclusive instead of the Q exclusive thing. Yeah, that could have been true. I mean, like they've referenced with Keco and Natalie, maybe troopers should be army builders where you could sell more than that. But maybe they just thought this was going to be so low popularity. That Riley threw me off because he said he has nipple tats in the chat. So it was throwing me off. So anyway, guys, let's move to our last topic of the evening because I think we got just enough time to get through this one. Exclusive figures, right? This is sort of our last but certainly not least topic because this is one I think that Keco and I have been texting about. Keco texted me some interesting data and he told me to crunch those numbers once more. And I did. And I have the data and I went through last year and look, guys, there may be one I missed here or there or something, but I think I did a pretty good job with this. I looked at two things. I looked at the number of exclusive figure announcements from 2023 because Keco brought this to my attention, and then 2024. This does not include things like special edition Darth Vader or Revan with a fucking coin. Like those are not really exclusive. I'm talking about like limited figures that have a set number, like Artisan Anakin or Umbra Trooper or fucking, this Obi-Wan that we just talked about. Things that are exclusive that sell out and waitlist really quickly, right? So we're talking about exclusive announcements in that way, right? So there, Keco, what are you trying to do? Oh,
sorry. Amy's filling up my bottle.
Oh, nice. The queen is here.
Or did you bring this to me?
No, this is for you.
Oh, can you hear her?
Yeah, that's the queen.
Anyway,
the queen
continue, Will.
But anyway, so guys, I wanted to share this data because look, Keco brought this to my attention. I had to crunch those numbers, and we are in middle of May of 2024, right? And we already have more exclusive Hot Toys announced than we did all of 2023. One more, in fact, based on the numbers I crunched, than we did in all of 2023. So my question being like, where is the market headed? Because this clearly is something Hot Toys plans on doing more moving forward. Let's talk about figure by month. Keco also brought this up. Really, the culprit is May. May has been killer. We're halfway through May, and we've had 5 exclusive figures announced this month alone, right? That's why of the 10 that have been announced this year, 5 were announced in May. There was only 1 announced through May of 2023. So everything was announced almost second half. So second half of last year through this year, Hot Toys has been pumping out those exclusives. They're all about that exclusive life. They're not doing those, toxic relationships anymore. They want exclusivity nowadays. Keco, I got to ask you, bro. Is this cause for concern, excitement? What do you think this number crunching shows us for these exclusive figures? What are your thoughts?
It's me crunching the numbers. So it's only going to be a problem if I end up missing on something like Anakin. Because overall, I like this. We will rewind the show back 2 years. I don't even know how long I've been on the show, but rewind it back for a long time ago where we're telling people, don't pre-order shit, get stuff early or get stuff late. It doesn't matter. Just find the best deal for you. But times have changed. And we had things coming in. You'd pay, I'm just throwing things out there. We'd pay $300 retail, and then people got it on Facebook Marketplace for $100. And you're like, damn, like this is hurting the hobby. I love all my Marvel figures, but a lot of the in-game line and stuff around that time, super overproduced, and it hurt the hobby. And Hot Toys said, okay, I see you. In addition to InArt, and then they said, we're going to start fixing the market. And we talked about that. And this is a good thing. Now, I don't want people to say, I'm only missing Crosshair because, and now he's $900. I can't complete my. It gives you something to chase. And now if there's one you really want, make sure to grab it. Wrecker went waitlist. Tech is officially waitlisted now too. So Tech could very well be, the next crosshair when it comes to the batch. And going back to this Imperial Commando, I wanted to make sure I got that one because I'm not going to miss another Bad Batch figure and have that be the one I'm missing. So I think this is a good thing because it makes you focus on your collecting and say, okay, I'm not just going to buy everything. I need to be selective. And the ones I really want, I'm going to figure out how it's going to happen. With the exception of Anakin, which I feel like they fixed the queue system. Granted, today was a little bit rough with... I'm not a big fan of double drops. I don't like them doing 2 in a day because I think that's very hard for people's schedules, even for their servers, because people are still trying to go back for Obi-Wan while they're trying to get the mess. Servers were slow today for the Commando for sure. But I've only missed one, Anakin. And I feel like a majority of people usually get it. If you play by the rules, you know what you're doing. And if you don't, then you have a chase. And then you can do the wait list. And we don't have... with the exception of the Umbra Trooper and these 2 from today, there's nothing that's been immediately put out that was exclusive to my knowledge. So we're still having that like waitlist game of okay, let's just hope it converts once it gets closer to release. And I think a lot of them will. And I think my Anakin will convert. If not, Natalie, I love Ron.
Natalie's got you.
One of my favorite characters in all of cinema. But we'll figure it out. But this is good. And I don't want to keep just belaboring the point and stealing Natalie's thunder, talking too long. I like this because we needed it. If we were going to continue down the same path of the in-game lines, we would have been cooked, honestly. People were going to stop collecting. And I know a lot of people did stop collecting, like, fuck this. This isn't fun to me. There's too many. I'm losing money. Not that you make it to make money or anything like that. We know that. This is good. This is listening, doing market research, correcting the right way. And I'll be damned, give me something to chase. We've been talking about me chasing this Anakin for a year now? It's fun. It's frustrating I don't have it yet. And I'm pissed that it happened on my couch, Will, that you got yours.
Dude, that was wild.
But you know what? It gives us something to talk about. And it gives me something to chase. And when you have something to chase, it makes the collecting that much more fun.
I think so too, bro. I think Hot Toys has struck the perfect balance right now. Not everything needs to be exclusive, but dude, these artisan drops, when you miss out, it sucks. I get it, but it's fucking fun, dude. And then
there's the option for the sculpt too.
Right.
Like outside of Anakin, there is an option. And granted, I know these 2 exclusives today, there's no other options for those, but you said it perfect. There's a balance. There's some that you're like, oh shit, I can't believe I missed that. We'll figure out a way to get it. And then there's some if I miss it, there's still an balance. Right. That's all things should be.
And that's true. And I do feel I see some comments here from European collectors saying it does kind of suck from them because the Sideshow import fees. And then even if you don't buy from Sideshow, you have to buy from Hong Kong reseller and they're going to upcharge for an exclusive. So they're kind of getting fucked. I do empathize with that. I do understand that. But I do think from a larger perspective for the market, this is definitely necessary. And I think Hot Toys and Sideshow both recognize that very clearly. I think they both recognize saying, Sideshow's we cannot sit on this much dead stock. We cannot discount shit 40% off each week. This is not sustainable. And I think clearly they're changing that. So anyway, Natalie, what are your thoughts here? This amount of exclusive announcements has dramatically risen thus far in 2024. And I think we can expect that to continue. What are you thinking about this?
So there's a couple of things that I think about this. One being exclusives versus artisan, because I think there's differences. Mm-hmm. We talk about reducing production numbers to most figures that we make publicly available. That by itself is going to level out the market. But there's all these extra end game and pre or during COVID times, right? Figures that are still out there. Look at all of the Hot Toy exclusive repaints. Those are from figures. Those are from dead stock figures. I think this is a moment where Hot Toys is trying to make right the wrong. So Sideshow, all these other places are sending stock back. They're cutting a loss. They're saying, take this back. We'll take a loss. We'll give us a discount. Give us some back, whatever. They're doing repaints. They're doing repaints on a lot of things they can't sell. So that's where a lot of these are coming from. So they're never going to do this super exclusive thing on a figure you've never been able to buy before. You're not going to get your PS5 favorite video game character in a lock behind a paywall. Anytime they buy a license, this is just business 101. If they're going to spend all this money on a license, they're not going to then say, but we're only going to sell 1,000 of them. They're going to try and sell as many of them as possible. It's the ones that they know they can't sell anymore. They've been sitting out there for a very long time. They're going to buy those back or take those back, repaint them, come up with something that's really cheap for them to do on a licensure perspective, and then they're going to push them back out. So you're going to get these Obi-Wan, Mando Kenobis, right? Those are what you're getting with these exclusives. Then there's the other part, the artisans. These are coming out as exclusives because they want to promote their artisan line, and they want to do it in the same fashion that is causing excitement. So when an artisan drops, they want people to be racing to the finish line. Come buy these. They're creating an environment where artisan means exclusivity, and they know what they're doing. This is what collecting is about. If you go to the store and there's every single store you go to, you could buy the stamps, same stamp, no stamp ever goes out of date, then it's not a collectible item anymore. If you can go to the bank and buy a coin, a double printed Indian head coin, like, then nobody cares about it anymore. There is a reason why they're collectibles. There's different types of collectors. There's collectors that want just anything they can get when it's available. And then there's collectors that seek out the unobtainable. So we have to remember that this is a world for more than just you and more than just me. People like collecting, and collecting means different things for different people. So allow this community to have multiple outlets. Allow the community to have the exclusivity, people who want just the variants. Who cares? I don't care about variants. Let the Kekos get the variants. Let me get the Captain Jack Sparrows, right? I don't care about a variant. I just want these awesome dreadlocks that are made of wool. He wants the Captain Jack Sparrow that has the blue headband with the patch on his eye. Like, who cares? But at the end of the day, they're never going to release something that you can't already get behind a paywall of only 1,500. So that's my take on it. I think, have they announced more figures than they did before? But yeah, I think so. But that's because they're trying to get rid of dead stock that isn't moving. Will they continue to do this? I hope so. Otherwise, we're all a bunch of doomed people spending money on things that will never maintain its value. And before you know it, it'll be 2027 and none of us will talk anymore because the hobby will be dead.
Wow.
That's depressing.
That is depressing.
It is. So embrace it. Embrace the change.
Right.
Allow people to get the things they want to get, and you go buy the things you want to buy. And hopefully,
Nat.
No, Natalie,
hopefully this
Natalie
makes
is right
everything
though.
better.
I mean, it is speculation, but Natalie, we've been saying that for quite a while. I mean, I think I'm not an economics expert, right? But it doesn't take an expert to look at this and say what was happening, like what Keco said during the end game, essentially era, like that was like the steroid era for Hot Toys collecting, right? It's an unsustainable method. You're right. If that had continued, Hot Toys would not exist.
Yeah.
Because they just wouldn't, because everyone would stop collecting, because they'd be like, this is like, again, we are collecting, we're not investing. I understand that. But at the end of the day, them losing so much value the second you buy them is like, regular collectors, like not the diehards like us, will leave because they're gonna be like, why am I doing this? Like this is literally worth a third of what I just paid for it. Like, it's not a car where I can drive it, right? It's not like where a second I drive it off the lot, yes, it is less valuable, but it's different. But nonetheless, not everything should be exclusive. I think the right balance is being struck right now. Anakin is the only example, like Keco said, where you cannot buy a sculpted, obtainable version.
They are going to write that ship. I promise.
They are going to write it.
That was the first release they ever did, and they screwed it up because
they did Joker first. Joker was first, yeah.
Well, no, I'm saying that's the first release they ever did without a sculpted version.
Oh, yeah.
They screwed it up. And so now they learned from that lesson. Every single one they've ever released since then has a sculpt. So you know what's going to happen? They're going to release the dark side version of that Anakin, and everyone is going to lose their mind about how it's going to be so exclusive. We're never going to get it. And I promise you, one, they're going to make the amount higher, and they're going to bring the sculpted version. And then idiots like me are going to be begging Keco to trade because he's got the better one because he was able to get the dark side. So they will make it right. They're a business.
I will say that as we wrap up there, Natalie, you know how wild the Anakin artisan drop was? Dark side Anakin, that's going to, like Keco knows, you're going to have 7 tabs open for that boy.
No, it is going, that will, I would say probably even double what the Anakin was.
Right. Exactly. But I think Keco, they'll probably make more units too. I think they'll make more units.
Maybe.
But
I'm not gonna lie. So I've been all right, and I'll let this go. But me and Ty were talking, right? And I was like, the second that drops, she's like, no, all of us, the whole household is gonna have a tab open, and we're all gonna get Keco a Dark Side Anakin.
Yep, 100%.
So like everybody is on Keco.
That's
like,
what I appreciate you guys did for me with Loki.
Keco,
you guys did that.
Get Keco Anakin. It's just gonna be trending on the internet. And
yeah, it's true. We can't let Keco down on this one because Keco was there for me with Loki, as were you, Natalie.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it's
I got y'all.
Yeah, and Natalie, you're keeping that Loki, aren't you?
No, so I've already reached out to a couple people. I only got the Loki because I was looking out, right, in case you didn't get it. So if there's anyone in this chat who is really trying to get that Loki and was not able to get it, I'm not trying to get a profit or anything, right? I got it because I was looking out for a friend, and I don't have any desire to keep it.
Okay. Well, that's half disappointing. I'm appreciative that you looked out for me, but I'm also disappointed that you don't love Loki enough to keep it. But at the same time, you know, I respect the honesty.
Look, I got a fun 2 Rons, okay? I have
That's true. You do got a fun. So you got to sell that Anakin to Keco. That's how you got to do it. Sell the Anakin, and then you're good to go. Keco smells blood in the water, and he's a shark, as he said in his video. So he's ready.
The fact you remember that, Will, makes me happy.
Dude, of course I did. It's a memorable line, dude. That was memorable. It was a memorable quote from your villain.
I said, I don't. All I have to do is outweight you.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the whole world remembers that, and I remember he was pacing around the room.
Yeah, he was walking around the collection.
It was like a
wrestling
intro.
Yeah, I think I showed that video to my mom, and she loved it. Yeah, it's like, yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Yeah, she was like, Keco's crazy. I was like, he is crazy. Yeah, so Keco Collects for you. Anyway, guys, we've run a little bit over tonight. I'm so sorry for running a little bit over, but hey, we gave you even more than you bargained for this live stream.
Bonus content.
Exactly. Content. Dude, Keco, that video you dropped about posing, dude, fire. And the chest hair, of course. Also.
I'm glad you watched it and the other 5 people that did. But I know whenever you take a break, you know, from YouTube and such, because I went on vacation, invested in myself, people back away. So we got to build that back up, build some more momentum. But the dumbest things you do, such as literally taking a 7-second Instagram reel of me literally putting a figure on a shelf, viral. That works apparently. But if you do like a Daredevil review, no one gives a shit about that. So check me out on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and Threads. So
all about the threads. Yeah, check out Keco Collects, king of Instagram, king of Threads, king of TikTok. Yes, master of the all the elements for sure. So Keco Collects, check him out. Awesome channel. Yeah, dude, I know for a fact, Keco, that Amy's she'd be filming those videos for you. I know for a fact because some of those reels because some of those reels I see, I'm like, there's no way this is on a tripod, dude. There's movement. There's like, you know, yeah, exactly. Amy's a good sport, dude. She really is.
No, I usually have to contract her. I'm like, hey, I'd like to do this tomorrow. What's your schedule? I'd like to work around it. I only need you about 38 seconds.
And she filmed. He's like, here's what I want you to do. Film me putting a figure in the case and then me laughing. And that's the end of the reel. Yep. Pretty much it. Perfect. Yep, Natalie, is anything coming up that you want to share? I know YouTube channel is not happening, so I'm not going to peer pressure you any longer. But how many Rons? You bought 2 Rons, so that's exciting. Is there anything else going on?
No, I think that's it. My whole life revolves around 2 Rons.
Yeah, I think so.
And apparently chest hair of the gentleman that I stream with. So
it's true.
I hope you enjoyed your cruise, Keco. I can't wait to hear about it. We bought a cruise for 2025, the San Diego Comic-Con, the first cruise ever.
That sounds
so we've got that. That's going to be wonderful. Hopefully I can. So my Ming Na Wen, my Fennec Shand, I got her signed at MegaCon. So I'm really looking forward to seeing who's going to be in this cruise and bring them along so I can get stuff signed. But thank you guys always for having me. The chat is awesome. I love this chat. I know we have our moments where I don't know your video game stuff, and I'm sorry, but you guys are all really good and super fun to be with, as are the both of you. So thank you always for having me.
Yeah, well, thank you for joining us always. Thank you to Keco Collects, of course, for joining me. The man himself. We're going to Cincinnati, bro. Natalie's coming too. Natalie's going with Cincinnati. Yeah, because Natalie, when were you there? You were like in Tennessee, like 6 months ago.
And then I don't even remember their names now. And when I was in the airport, these giant guys, everyone's like, those are Bengal guys. And I was like, oh my God, I got to tell.
Oh, were they?
The first time I ever streamed with Keco, I told you, I was like, I saw 2 football players. They were from the Bengals. There was 2, I don't even remember their names.
Were they like linemen or something? Were they like really big?
They
Hopefully
were
they were cut because they weren't protecting Shiesty.
they were big dude, and they're like, yeah, no, those are people from the football team here.
Oh,
Those
okay.
are the Bengals. I never ever watch football, so I don't even remember who they are. But I remember coming right back and saying, Keco, I saw people, you like this team, like, right? So anyway, I was there. Who even knows? I travel a lot for work. So yeah, I was in Ohio and I flew into Cincinnati and I was at the stadium right there, like in order to get to where I was going. But yeah, I'm there. I'm there. We got to get Keco and Amy down the floor.
We do. I got to talk to
even
the
if
queen.
Keco doesn't come, I just want to meet Amy.
Yeah, we just exclude Keco. We get Amy.
Oh
there.
my goodness. It's just going to be the three of us.
Cameoed her
You, Ty,
hand to
Amy,
fill up my
you
drink.
guys can go play with your toys, your non-Harry Potter stuff, and we'll go do good, fun stuff.
That's true.
Oh shit, let's just go get some champagne. We're gonna have a great fucking time.
Yes. Amy.
Amy took us to look at the horses, dude. That was amazing. Got to meet the donkey. There were donkeys, weren't there? Donkeys, horses, all of them. Like, dude, I never seen that stuff before. So that's pretty crazy. I mean,
Just wait till I get you to Cincy, bro. I got you.
Dude, yeah. Keco, we got to talk about the Night King, by the way. We're going to talk about that. So anyway, guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend, your Friday. It's 7:12 p.m. Friday, May 17th. We're signing off officially. Enjoy your exclusives and other Hot Toys figures. Mace Windu is a grail. Obi-Wan is a grail from Clone Wars. Ron Weasley is most certainly a grail. And everything else is as well. So it's a good time to be a collector. And yeah, donate your sperm if it works. Thank you for watching another episode of Lights Camera Collect. Please make sure to click the like button and subscribe to this channel. And of course, check out my amazing co-host channel, Keco Collects, linked in the description below. Thank you so much and see you in the next one.